Oh man. Hey, we here once again. Hey, I tell you, it's a blessing when you wake up on top of the ground and the ground ain't on top of you, man. That's like my thing. I like to say that, man. As soon as the motherfucker get to complaining about how life is, and you know what I'm saying, we get to wake up in this beautiful country. Although there's a lot of fuckery that goes on in the country, but let's be honest, there's plenty places that's worse. You feel me? Today, hold up, let me do a little housekeeping. You guys make sure you get those like and subscribe buttons up. Camron was going in, man. Camron, I think he went a little bit overboard, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know who they expect Bronny James to be, right? You know, and I don't know if we just got this phobia of the younger generation ultimately topping all of our accomplishments, man. I mean, they got way better resources, man. Like we don't have to be haters because young dudes are taking over, bro. They're gonna be getting all the women. They're gonna be getting it all, man. You know, if you're an older cat, you might want to try to embrace some of these young dudes and build them up instead of the criticizing. The criticizing, man. Yeah, man. Dipset. Hey, Dipset, man. Look, this is crazy, man. This what I would call crazy. I'm like, come on, Camron. You know, if anybody knows about a motherfucker, you know, that I would just say loves to be in the position that they're in. You know what I'm saying? Bronny James. I mean, his dad, you know, one of the most famous facial recognition guys on the planet. You know, LeBron James. I mean, is there going to be any basketball player as good as LeBron? You know, I know we want his son to be better than him. I know everybody thought that his son was just going to go in there and they were just going to win a championship with his son, which would be the craziest shit ever.
You know, this guy's talk about Ken Griffey Jr. and shit. You know, like I don't know what Ken Griffey Jr. has to do with this. I don't know what Ken Griffey Sr. has to do with this. Hey, can somebody tell me what the fuck Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. have to do with this, man? Was Ken Griffey Sr. the best baseball player ever? Was he even close? Okay, fuck it. Is he a top 500 player? Is Ken Griffey Sr. a top 500 player, bro? You know, I haven't saw too many games. I'm from Seattle, Washington. You know, his dad was on the team. Well, I think his dad was on the Reds. I think his dad was on Cincinnati. And I want to get I don't have facts in front of me. I'm just going off pure blunt smoke memory. You know what I'm saying? Blunt smoke memory. Early in the morning, it's the Wake and Bake. Hit the like and subscribe. You know where you at. Let's get a bunch in the building, man. This shit's gonna be hilarious, man. You know, cause we go through this. We go through this where you got a lot of older dudes that come off as haters, right? So he was saying that the duo between Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. I guess that was the best duo he's ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, Ken Griffey Sr., you know, in all fairness, he was a good player. You know, he was a good player. Although I don't have all the data and everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to just give him the benefit of the doubt before I go through the stats or anything and just say that Ken Griffey Sr., he was decent. Maybe some of you guys in the chat could, you know, scale him 1 to 10. What do you think? You know, that as a baseball player all around, you know, I mean, he was able to get his son in a position to play for the league. You know, I didn't see all this hate, and you could say Ken Griffey Jr. is better than Bronny, but shit, LeBron is a hell of a lot better than Ken Griffey Sr., man. Is Ken Griffey Sr. even in the Hall of Fame? Okay. Is Ken Griffey Sr. in the Hall of Fame? You guys don't have to answer all at once. You don't have to answer all at once. We just waking and baking, man. Smack that like button. Smack that subscribe button for all the new people in the building. This ain't no new channel. I mean, we've been up for a long time. And we talk about these topics and we break it all the way down to its finest granule. We try to break this shit all the way down. Where is this coming from? Where are these comments coming from? That's what we're here to do. Rolling up, you know, and we're going to break this down. I got some footage of Camron on his show, you know, with Mace. You know, they got the show going on. It's kind of amazing. You know, guys had all this beef and all these differences and shit. But then, like you said, even enemies or guys that don't see eye to eye can come together when it's about the bag. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'll give Cam the benefit of the doubt because he, if anybody, will go out on a limb. If it's not Kwame Brown, hey, man, it's a beautiful day, man. It's 7:00 over here, man. I know it's 10:10 somewhere, you know, on the other side, you know, Central Time, you know, about 9:00. You know, we get up in here. Some of y'all getting your coffee and everything, you know. Hey, I'm going to be brutal, too. He was real brutal when it came to his assessment. Cam ain't no hooper, dog. I'm not hearing this shit, bro. Come on, dog. We can't start this, man. Cam ain't. How tall is Cam? See, here we're gonna do this shit. We're gonna start early. How tall is Camron, bro? 5'9". How tall is Camron? All right, fuck it. If Camron, I'm 5'10". If Camron's a hooper, I'm a goddamn hooper, bro. He played hoop. I don't care, Def Chef. I don't give a fuck. Highlights from high school. So what? Bronny James got highlights from high school, dog. Is Camron's highlights from high school better than Bronny James' highlights from high school? Allegedly. Itchy. Yeah, I heard he was decent. Nice three-pointer. He was 5'8". How tall is Camron, bro? Has anybody seen him in real life? Let me see. How tall is the rapper Camron? Oh, he's 6'1". They say, Wikipedia, you can't trust Wikipedia, man. They say he's 6'1". Okay. February 4th, 76. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Was he an Iverson? Iverson was 6'1", right? 6 foot, 6'1". Was he an Iverson-esque? Do you think he could have made it to the league? Is it valid to have an assessment by a guy like this, about a league where, we got 6-7 guards and shit in this league now. It's not the league where they used to have carpenters and goddamn locksmiths and shit playing in the NBA, dog. This ain't that league. You got dudes that train their whole life. AAU, parents getting ready to fight each other and shit at the gyms and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit serious, man. I seen this fine ass mom walk up in there. She was fine as a motherfucker, bro. Like, damn, she mean as a motherfucker, man. She want her son to get up and down the court. I'm like, damn, I thought you just came up in here like everybody else, clout chasing and shit at the AAU game, trying to knock something young. Come on, man. They be real serious when it comes to those games, man. And their kids getting out there on the floor running. So how good? Hey, yeah, say he wasn't making it to the league. Okay. Well, let me get in here, man, without further ado. I like to talk. And this is what we do. This is a motherfucking talk show. So but I like to listen too. So let's listen to some of the things that came out of their mouth on this show.
You always get a free pick if you're not already an underdog. So make sure to sign up now and you can make your picks too. So guys, LeBron and Bronny made history as the first father-son duo to share the court.
Okay, so if that's not another accomplishment, can we put that as another accomplishment for LeBron James and the LeBron James legacy? This is the first father-son duo ever in the NBA. Stephen Curry's dad didn't do it. You got Gary Payton's son out there. I seen him. I saw Tim Hardaway Jr.'s out there. I saw Glenn Robinson's son out there. Let's face it, at least 10, 20% of the league is based upon almost. I mean, we can make an argument that there's a lot of fucking basketball players that come from the lineage. They come from the lineage. It's like a fraternity, bro. Your dad played in the NBA. You got a better shot at making it to the NBA than my son does. Right? I know how this shit goes, bro. I watch these politics. I watch shit unfold. And I'm not saying these kids aren't deserving. They hit the genetic lottery. You got 6, 7 fucking 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. Like you hit the genetic lottery for your youth. I don't know how good that is when you're 40, 50 years old, 60 years old. I don't know how, it could be the gift when you're young and the curse when you're old, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about lacing it up and getting on the court, right? How many people have done it? Michael Jordan didn't do it. They say he's the best fucking player ever. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't do it. I don't know how many kids he got, right? LeBron had a kid young. Everybody criticized him, right? Like, damn, he doesn't need a son. He needs to focus on his career. No, you need to focus on your career. Okay? I think he did really good in his career. Oh, so I've proven your point now. See, Chef, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this early. You and Supreme, we're not doing this shit. I'm not doing this with you brothers today, man. I'm not doing this. Where's your number at, bro? Because this shit, we can't be doing this, man. It's too early. I told y'all. It's too early. It's too early, bro. It's too fucking early for this. Bank statement. What up, brother? You know how we do. You know how we do. Hey, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know, Cam's going in, and I think Cam should be showing love. I think Cam should be showing love instead of all the criticism. And I know you got to make your podcast funny and all of this. And you might be like, damn, this Dr. Hood guy, this Buck City guy, he's always caping for people, right? Let me get Supreme in here, man. What up, man?
Yo,
come on
what's
with
up,
it, man.
bro?
Come with it, bro.
Hey, I honestly feel like that's an accomplishment. Father-son duo on the court, that is. Can't nobody fix their lips to talk against that. If they do, they should be silenced, like how the Nation of Islam do people. But we would like to see, people want to see more. People want to see 100% effort when he ain't
It's
even really.
preseason, Supreme. What are we talking about?
They want him to be something he ain't yet already. You know what I'm saying? He's not finna come through that motherfucker dropping 40 points.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
But it's not gonna happen, man. Come on, the best players come on, bro. What was now I ain't gonna even put him in LeBron's shoes. Name another good player when they first came through. They wasn't averaging shit.
Man,
they ain't start going crazy. They ain't start going crazy until shit after the second season.
All right, and we in preseason. We on the second. Right. I think we on the second or third preseason game coming up. Come on now. We can't. Yeah, so. The assessment is too harsh. Ben Simmons scored 2 fucking points, bro. I got a problem with this. When we got niggas named Ben Simmons that scored 2 fucking points, dog.
He trash.
Ben Simmons had 2 fucking points, dog. Yeah. Ben Simmons had 2 fucking points. Ben Simmons had 2 fucking points.
And then later on in his career,
Ben Simmons had 2 fucking points, dog.
And then later on in his career, he couldn't even overcome that shit. Because I remember later on in his career, he was getting dog walked.
Man, Ben Simmons is 7 foot tall.
Getting dog walked, getting ripped up by little motherfuckers like he. That's the type of motherfucker get his shot blocked by Nate Robinson.
Man, bro. Def Chef, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, talk to me, man, because this shit ain't making sense, bro. Talk to me, man.
What's not making sense?
It's a lot of this hate, man, on Bronny James.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's a lot of hate on Bronny James, bro. They're expecting this guy to be like his dad. It's only preseason. What the fuck is your son doing? I got on Magic's ass with his whole transgender son, right?
Well, I told somebody that they got mad. They're like, "Well, that's beside." I'm like, "Nah,
see,
nah.
Man, look, wait, because
I'm about to mute up, man. I'm muting up, bro. Fuck it. Give me my lighter, man.
Hey, what's up with you, Supreme?
What's good on, big dog? How you feeling this morning?
I'm cool. And now, when we talk about a dude like Magic Johnson, I'm a rabbit hole nigga. They call me a conspiracy theorist, right?
Okay, right.
Magic Johnson is a very interesting case. Extremely interesting. Like, I mean, man, his name is Magic Johnson, man. I've never seen a dude. Okay, he got AIDS, right? And then next thing you know, he gets bigger and stronger and no one around him. Like, man, bro, you mean to tell me none of the chicks you was fucking with, like, nobody came forward? Okay, Cookie is cool. All right, at the time you guys was having that kid came out okay, but of course a nigga named Magic Johnson could beat anything, right? the thing with his son, I'm a masculine man raised by my grandfather. He's from the deep south, the sticks. I got my own standard on that. With him, we champion that shit. Right. So to me, Magic Johnson is just a whole nother case, because I will say this, and some people might disagree. If Magic Johnson had a son in the league, that nigga could be complete butt cheeks and there would be little to no criticism. You niggas might critique it because you're content dudes, but just the general, nah. And honestly, sometime a couple years ago, just all this LeBron hate started. And when you hate a man, you probably dislike a bunch of other shit about the man. Like, we know what some of this critique is about. It ain't really about little LeBron like Bronny. It's about the dad. So I could be real about that. I be in these little sports groups and boy, niggas be crazy.
If he was another kid's son, or let's say he wasn't nobody's son, nobody would be talking about him right now. How many other motherfuckers didn't score? How many rookies are in the league? At least 30, 40 rookies, right?
Yeah.
At least. So where are the other motherfuckers that need to go to the D League? Where are the other motherfuckers that didn't score no fucking points?
Man, they wasn't talking about the Ball brothers. One of them niggas trash. I think one of them decent. Daddy trash.
LaJello.
Man, you hear me, bro?
LaJello Ball.
Bro, trash Bandicoot.
Why read T? He said, man, Jesus love you. If you can read this comment, man, Jesus loves you, man. Hey, somebody need to hear that. You feel me? And we ain't all bad over here, man. We get it in, man. But at the end of the day, we just enjoying life, bro. That's what's most important, man, in the times we live in. So I mean, I don't understand why everybody feels that Bronny James is supposed to be better than his dad or better. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you put that expectation on this guy? Who's better than LeBron?
That's that Western civilization agenda type shit. We ain't really patient. We ain't really the patient civilization. You know what I'm saying? We really be rushing shit. We ain't gonna lie. It's really us pushing the narrative, and you can't. It's like you want the rose to bloom right now because you just planted the motherfucker. The motherfucker ain't even came out the dirt yet. But you want the rose to bloom all of a sudden. It just be us wanting the shit to see that shit for ourselves. Shit.
Beat over shot, Borderland, Itchy. Let me see. Pep 2-step in the building. Salute, brother. NWA Kane Corso.
I remember when Jordan's son was at South Florida University.
Hey, I disagree, Kane Corso. I think if Magic Johnson's son would have laced him up while he was young, he would have been better than all of them. That dude's like 7 foot tall. I'm only 5'10", brother. I used to on my bench press, I threw up 3 wheels 8 times with no spot. I just to give you an idea, like my height, it doesn't give me no credit as to who this is over here, and that's good because I knock a big motherfucker off his feet. But the guy of the height, Magic Johnson's son's taller than he is. I think Magic Johnson got to be like 6'8". His son got to be every bit of 6'10", 6'11", bro.
Yeah, he got him by 3-4 inches. Hey,
he don't have to lift his head up to be taller than his dad, bro.
You heard me, Buck?
What?
I said I got to move the semi truck real quick. I'm gonna jump back on.
Oh, you already know, brother.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now I'll say this: the physical aesthetics might check out with that nigga, right? But he ain't from where we from. He hasn't experienced what we've experienced. I don't think Magic's ever been like, shut the fuck up, sit your dumb ass down. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying, when you're growing and being raised, bro, that's part of this shit, bro. Are you stupid? Hey, bro, I doubt his dad has ever said, are you stupid? Bro, my grandfather would just call me a dummy off the rip. I don't even feel like I've really done anything dumb. But I come from like a sharecropping ass nigga, right? Little patience. I'ma show you one time, maybe a couple. If you focus, you gonna get it right. Right. And what's so crazy, now that I'm older and I'm doing the shit I'm doing and moving how I'm moving, I really understand why my grandfather was like that. I'm not necessarily like that as a parent, but at the same time, yeah, nigga, I'll smack my son. I'll get in his grill. I'll check his temperature for real because I'm preparing you for the way the world is, my nigga. Like, I can't wrap my mind around nurturing a feminine spirit in my son, my nigga. Right? But then again, I don't get what Magic Johnson gets. Like, he knows if he stood on business, he wouldn't own the Dodgers. You can't criticize the agenda. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was meaning by Magic is a whole nother conversation, because as good as that nigga is, man, you niggas seen that show. That nigga been a creation from the beginning.
Right.
You know, they put a lot behind him. And what's so cold, we wasn't around like that. You know, there wasn't the internet, but I've done a lot of research, read some old articles. He had to deal with a lot of hate, but he made sure, and you know, I mean, man, look, we see what D Wade did. We see what D Wade did, bro. Like, I knew what it was. I said, yeah, this is awesome cooker, bro.
See, that'll turn into a whole nother show.
Yeah,
bro.
you know me.
That shit.
Because listen, here's the thing. If it was one of LeBron's sons, can you imagine what niggas would be saying, bro? And you know I'm a Jordan guy, but nah, I'm a real nigga too. We got to be honest about this shit.
Oh my goodness, what? Man, I could imagine.
Bro, like, I don't know what he did. Maybe he was too successful. I completely understand. The same thing make you love a nigga will make you hate I get all that. But like, what has he done? He doesn't get in any trouble, and I don't care, you know, if he get in trouble. Like, I used to always get in trouble.
He had some weed. Bronny had some weed.
Oh no, I'm talking about LeBron.
Okay. Yeah, LeBron didn't get in trouble, bro. I never heard no trouble about this guy. Now, if he's a troublemaker, let's say this was Antonio Brown's son or something. You know, motherfuckers would say, "Oh, he wasn't being a good dad and shit." You know what I'm saying? All this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, if it was AB's son, this shit would be ugly.
Man, I mean, come on, we see this time and time again.
That's a fact.
How about we just not criticize nobody's fucking sons, bro? This guy's 20 years old last time I checked. 20. He might be 21. I think his birthday just passed. He might be 21. Or maybe that was an old post I saw. You know, I try to do a little bit of research. Although the most research I'm going to be doing is it going to be pink runts or motherfucking zittles? You know, that's all the motherfucking research we doing on the Wake and Bake show, goddammit.
Zittles.
You know I'm going to let you guys call in for all that goddamn research shit. You feel me? This is crazy though. Let me get into this content.
Mute up.
Their preseason game to the Suns, 118 to 114. Obviously, we know it's just preseason. But before we get into the stats, what do you think about them sharing the moment together on the court?
I think it was very positive. I think it was a moment definitely of a lifetime. I don't know how long it'll be before we see this again. I think it was tremendous in the value that it provides for Black families. It's a lot of great takeaways from this. So, you know, anybody listening to this, I'm not constantly like on LeBron. It's just I have to give an objective view. And because everywhere you go, it seemed like people are just parading for LeBron. But this was an excellent moment. I think it was terrific for.
It was terrific. I mean, I wouldn't have used that word. You know what I'm saying? Terrific. You know, that one's probably hidden in my little tool chest. But
yeah, you don't talk like that. Of course,
it was
terrific.
terrific. I'm gonna start saying terrific in this motherfucker because it was terrific in this bitch.
It was though. I mean, okay, look, here's the whole thing. You got to look at accomplishment. There's so many things embedded and involved in it. Like we got to look at timing, right? Most of the time, I don't care how good an NBA player is or your son, you ain't gonna get to play with him because you ain't gonna have him young enough.
Man, ain't gonna have the genetic durability alone, let alone athleticism. All right.
Yeah, yeah, all that. Like, hey, bro, here's the bottom line. If you ain't having a kid at like 16 to 18, and it's literally a window like that, like 20, nah, it ain't gonna happen. Right? Like there's certain little nuances in there. There's little certain nuance. Well, bro, who else is really playing 20 years, bro? There's only a handful of players, bro, who's ever played 20 years in the league. And
but everybody said, because I saw it.
Right.
I was around. Everybody said when LeBron James got that girl pregnant, they thought it was a money grab. They thought she was going to take him for all his money. They thought that it was a bad idea. They said that, I mean, a motherfucker that done lost their job done said that he needs to focus on his career, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have a job, but you're saying he needs to focus on his career. He's one of the best that have done a career, okay?
Yeah, but at the time, he was a rookie. You know how it go. You know, hindsight's 2020. Because, like, I'm gonna keep it real. I knew he was gonna be amazing, but I didn't think he was gonna be this good for this long. I've never seen anything like this, and I'm sure somebody could pull a rabbit out their hat. I'm not really here to debate that or whatever because I just know what I've seen and what I've been around for. Right, like. Bro, this dude made it to the damn NBA finals, 8-10 years in a row? I don't want to exaggerate. So if it wasn't 10 years in a row, I apologize or forgive me for misspeaking on that, but I definitely know it was 8. And then well, how many of them did he win? Well, here's the thing. If he would have won all of them, y'all wouldn't give it to him. Then it would be his teammates. When he loses, him. When they win, it's his teammates. And you know, a great player, that's how you supposed to do it. But we fans, we spectators. So I see the play. I see the play because on the court, how we gonna really tarnish this man's image, his work ethic, bro? I remember this nigga lost the NBA finals and he was in the gym 3 days later, bro.
Yes.
Bro, this nigga, hey, bro, he was rapping and shit and turned up. Mm-hmm. Hey, usually I'm used to niggas when
Thugs in Harmony or something.
Yeah, I'm used to when that happened, a nigga kind of lay low. Like I'm pretty sure him and Savannah, they went on a little vacation. He probably left them there, or maybe he was on vacation working out like that. Hey, bro, all I know, I've never seen a dude lose and get right back. Like you put it in our face during the gym. Man, we've never seen nothing like that, bro. We're used to niggas saying practice. We ain't talking about the game. We talking about practice. And I love AI, right? Hey, and you know, the PDAs. We could get into that too. I'm a Jordan guy. If you think, or PEDs, if you guys think Jordan wasn't on that shit, you ain't no real Jordan fan.
Allegedly, man.
Allegedly. Man, bro.
Everything's allegedly.
Oh, you know what? You right. Because I'm on your platform.
They got dudes that sit around and comb these platforms looking for niggas like that.
Nah, you right. You
that
right.
don't want to say allegedly.
Right.
Know?
We gotta. Yeah, you're right. We gotta protect. Right, your brand that you build. So allegedly, allegedly, but watch the games, and we can see how alleged it really is. Just look at Cat's physical, man. You know, because I'm a Jordan dude, bro. I'm not about to break this down. I'm not trying to undermine anything he's accomplished. I'ma just say 2 words and mute up. Flu game.
Hold on, let me see.
Anybody listening, watch the flu game and really pay attention. Man, come on, man. Y'all, yeah, I mean, it was great entertainment. I don't know about y'all. I done had the flu. The real flu. Nigga, I had COVID before they was calling it COVID because I'm from the food industry. The food industry, the food people and the kids in school, we was the first people really passing this COVID shit around.
Lot
right?
Boy, don't do that. Don't do that, Lot Boy. Don't do that. Shoot me a text. I'll send you the link right now. You talking about LeBron? Good, but
this what you've been waiting for. Yeah, come up and entertain Dr. Hood because
don't do that.
I can sense the energy.
I got a whole.
He wants to smoke today. I want to hear it.
It's better.
Come get him, Lot Boy. Come get this nigga.
Hey, shoot me the text because I got so many phones and devices. I wouldn't even know where to send the link to you at. Just shoot me a quick text. And as soon as whatever phone chirp, that's gonna be the one, baby. Let me see. Melee in the building. Hey, check your email, Melee. I just emailed you, brother. With the business in the building. Hey, Clout. Hey, whatever you want to say, whatever it is, man. What's a better way to spend your morning smoking weed, bro? This is what we do. It's the wake and bake show.
It happen. What he say? What LeBron got the clout to make it happen? See, this is what I'm saying. Look, that's cool. That's my point. That's my point. All that's in there. The age, the clout, the timing.
Well, no, we got on Deion Sanders for what he was able to position. We got a fucking problem.
You know, hey, look. You know that dude Ryan Williams, the receiver for Alabama, right?
Right.
He's 17 years old.
Right. Yep.
If he had a son right now, let's say he has a son, a little baby, a 6-month-old, whatever. As a matter of fact, we'll make him a year. Do you think Ryan Williams is going to play 18, 19 years in the NFL for his son to make it? Now, y'all going to say to me, yeah, but you got to be this age. Nah, we going to make him good as Ryan Williams. He's going to be a dude starting in college at 17, all that shit. Like, we going to give him all that. Okay, so you play your 3 years. That makes you 20. Hey, you'll never convince me that that'll happen. Like, Ryan Williams will be 37 and his son is good enough to be playing with him at 20. Now, I get it. Basketball and football are 2 different things, man.
Yeah,
listen.
Football ain't gonna happen. Just because of the 3 years, like you said.
Okay, well, look.
It ain't gonna happen.
We could do this.
We could do this. Never gonna see that shit.
We could do this.
Now, if you have a son at 15, but who's advocating for that? 14,
right?
Yeah,
we could do this. We could do this then. Do tennis players are people able to play like tennis and golf and soccer way earlier than say?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, has that happened?
I don't think so. I don't know,
bro. I've never seen. I'm talking about that the apex level. Soccer has so many levels. Well, I'm sure like there's a little rec league or a little pro league. You know it, Greece or whatever that. Do you know a lower United States league?
If Serena and Venus had a kid young, they could have had a child about the age of Coco Gauff or younger. Right now, for sure. Yeah.
Even with the clout, all that means is influence to me. Right? So even without the influence, like let's take that away. Man, this is still some crazy shit to witness. Niggas watch this dude grow up. Right? We've seen all these, we know all these stars, we know about their kids and this and that. Like, hey man, it didn't happen with none of them. And I get it. Maybe that's not even what their goal was. Well, if that was LeBron's goal, you know, there's a lot to it, and it's easy to attack it. But man, a lot of work went into it. A lot of work went into it because these other cats, you know, hey, there's plenty of dudes who ain't D Wade's son like a little bit older than LeBron. What happened with that?
Exactly.
Right?
Nobody said shit about that.
And I'm not coming.
They hate on the successful people that made it. Bronny made it.
Hey, listen. D Wade tried to do everything LeBron did for his son. Right? Like he transferred schools, all that stuff, whatever. Then he was supposed to go to this school. Instead of going to the school, shit, he went to the G League. And they put him in Salt Lake City, where the lights ain't gonna be on you. You ain't gonna get a lot of criticism. He didn't get him on Miami, where he really had clout like that. He put him in Salt Lake City to protect him. Shit still didn't work out. Now, I know I'm not comparing D Wade to LeBron clout-wise, but D Wade had enough clout to get his son in the G League.
His son went to the G League?
Yes, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not gonna bring his stats up. I'm not here to attack.
We're not. How are the stats attacking? Stats are good.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, when was the last time you seen him play hoop? When was the last time anything came across your desk? When was the last time somebody had a conversation with you about it? It didn't work out. So when it does work out, that's something to respect. Making it work is tough, bro. It ain't easy.
Well, Cam had a good, I think Cam put it in the right perspective about the whole situation. I'll let y'all hear this.
Black kids to see a black father with a black son playing on the same team, regardless of the stats. I mean, just for history, for like the eyeball test, for people to see something and to give the future athletes something to shoot after. It's so many wonderful points that I could pull out from this. I'll even give you 3 more, even for the mom to be able to see her husband. Can you imagine how jovial she is to see her husband playing and her son playing at the same time? This got to do wonders for her heart. I don't know what she's ever been through, but I know something like this can move like mountains of hurt, pain, disappointment, or anything when you see these type of things happen in a family.
Hey, Buck, man, I'm in the show. All that's cute. All that's cute. But when it comes to
come with the smoke,
what's
man.
up, family?
Wait, hold up. Wait.
What's up, family?
Who
Listen,
we
man.
listening to?
This Lock Boy.
Oh shit, mute up. He about
Listen,
to get
man.
your ass, nigga.
Listen, when it's all that's fine and cute, what he did with Bronny.
He done right
But
now.
after the 07 finals, with that shit with MJ, that shit was over with, man.
07 finals with MJ. What are you talking about? 07 finals? What?
The 07 finals against the Mavericks. Once he laid down to JJ Barea and Jason Terry, and when he laid down in the fourth quarter.
Nah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, once he had that bad fourth quarter, Buck, it was over. You can't be compared to Jordan, man. All that longevity.
That was like 2012 or something, 2013. That was in Miami, right?
Listen, yeah, that was in Miami. Yeah, that was in
So
Miami. But
07,
all that
07
longevity,
lost
he's still chasing MJ, bro.
what are we talking about, bro? Hey, make a starting lineup of people that MJ beat in the finals. Make a starting lineup.
I
Who is
say
your starting
MJ.
five of the guys that MJ beat in the finals? Go ahead. You got the
I'm
floor.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say MJ, best player on his team, averaged 19 points in the finals to help him.
Who did that? Who did that with Jordan though? I mean, who did that with
Scottie Pippen. Oh, Dwayne Wade averaged over 20 something in the finals.
in a league that they don't score 84 points no more. Like the average point per game done went up 25 points since Jordan been out the fucking league. What are we talking about?
So what about defense? They don't play defense no more.
You gotta, because you can't just cram the paint. It ain't just a whole bunch of Neanderthals running down the court that can't shoot. You got 7-foot
Listen, man.
motherfuckers shooting from 30. So
Hey,
the
other people dominated.
The court's gonna widen
Once
up.
Jordan made it to the finals, it was over with.
Man, so what
LeBron
about
got
all the
other
years
people
he
done
didn't make it?
dominated. People done dominated LeBron era. You can't lose to the old Dirk Nowitzki that Dwayne Wade just beat.
The LeBron era. I'm gonna tell you what era he got blessed to be in. It was the Boston Celtics. Let me stack this fucking team to beat you. We got unlimited salary caps and shit. Let's get this Golden State and throw KD on there and shit like some creative
Hey, Buck,
type shit, bro.
that's good. But who started it? Who started it? Chris Bosh. When Chris Bosh joined the Heat, when LeBron James joined the Heat with him and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, they were the best players at their position. It wasn't no better power forward in the league better than Chris Bosh. It wasn't no better shooting guard in the league better than Dwayne Wade. LeBron James was the best small forward in the world ever. You're not supposed to lose with that team, bro. Ain't no way in the hell Jordan not losing with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade.
Listen, man, Dwayne Wade went 0 for 5 down that stretch, bro. I say he was just chucking it up. I was like, what's going on?
How many points LeBron had in the fourth quarter? And that Maverick series, when he had them 4 points, 8 points, like what the hell was he doing? Man, that shit can't compare to Jordan. His defensive stats, Jordan won defensive player of the year.
Actually, it can because they really didn't know the identity of the team. If I'm not mistaken, that was the first year that they assembled that team, right? So nobody,
what everybody said,
we can't do this. We can't do this.
But what everybody saying, everybody already crowd them. When they assemble that team, everybody saying, "Oh, the Miami finna win the finals. We finna win 5, 6, 7."
It's been proven. Nobody just goes somewhere and just fucking wins. But we expect LeBron to do it, and it's the same shit that we're expecting Bronny James to do, right? Let me guess.
Nah, I don't expect that for Bronny James. I expect Bronny James to have a good career. I still feel he came a little early, but I think he's gonna do okay. But I'm saying when it comes to Michael Jordan and the way Michael Jordan dominated his time, his era, I can't help who I'm born against. Like Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, I can't help who I go against. I can't help who born in my era. All I can do is do what I did. But I judge basketball by eras. I don't judge them by this person, that person, because they played in different eras. There were different rules. It was a different game. Everything was different. Like back now, like you can't play defense now. If you holler too loud, they're gonna say foul.
Okay,
every time AD go to the hole.
I let you move the goalposts, right? So now let's get to the meat and potatoes. Give me a starting 5 of competitors that Michael Jordan beat. Give me a starting 5.
In the finals or in his career?
In the finals. In his career in the finals.
In the finals, okay, he beat Charles Barkley. Okay, he beat Charles Barkley. He beat the best point.
Stop.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
You're going too fast, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 5. Okay.
So we're gonna put Charles Barkley at the 3 or the 4. Where are we gonna put Charles Barkley? Huh?
We're gonna put Charles Barkley at, let's say we'll put Charles Barkley at the 3.
Okay, you put Charles Barkley.
We're gonna put Magic Johnson at the 1.
Oh, old ass Magic Johnson. Okay, we'll put him at the
No, we can't do that. We can't do that, bro. We gotta say Magic Johnson. No, he won the MVP that year. He won the MVP in 91. He won the MVP of the league that year. You say he washed up, baby. He won the MVP of the league that year when he went to the finals and lost to Jordan. If he had washed up, he was the best player in the goddamn
They
league.
had washed up
Somebody.
James Worthy. They had
No, you told me to give you a starting five. You told me to give you a starting five, baby.
Green and them, man. Come on, man.
You told me to give you a starting five.
Go ahead.
Magic Johnson's greatest point guard ever. He won the finals as a rookie.
He's running the one. Go ahead.
Okay, Magic one of the one. Okay, Clyde Drexler one of the two. We got Barkley at the 3.
Okay.
We got Sean Kemp at the 4.
Okay.
We got in center. Who you want to put at center?
No,
who they beat in the finals? Let me see.
Kevin Duckworth,
a big man.
What you
Nah, let me not think. Because see, I finna say Shaq, but Shaq was in the East.
You niggas be
I was finna say Shaq, but Shaq won the finals. I was finna say Shaq, but Shaq won the finals. There was the Eastern Conference. But let me see. He beat the Suns, the Lakers, the Trailblazers. He beat the Utah Jazz twice, and he beat the Supersonics. I don't even want to put Karl Malone in there. Karl Malone could be your center. He had the most points almost the most points when he left. Karl Malone, and I ain't even say John Stott. Like every guy this man beat, how many people he stopped from getting the ring is all Hall of Famers. Patrick Ewing couldn't get a ring because of Jordan. Like this is one of the greatest players ever. He could not get a ring because he was in the Jordan era. Jeff Van Gundy said, I just was messed up because I was in the Jordan era and wasn't nothing we can do about it. Reggie Miller couldn't get a ring because he was in the Jordan era. Shaq them in the Magic. That was my team. I'm from Florida. Them boys couldn't hold Jordan water. That man came back from baseball.
They were young.
And he lost. He came back from baseball and lost and then did a 3-peat. Everything this man did in 14 years.
Phil Jackson, and neither did LeBron. You feel me?
LeBron, guess his buck. LeBron had whoever he wanted.
Man,
whoever he wanted to coach, LeBron can get whoever he wanted. LeBron was a GM, the manager and everything. He got whatever he wanted. Everywhere he went, he got wherever he wanted. Jordan, that man say, what Kramer say? I made sure Jordan stayed out of the way when I made the decision about players. Jordan, them ain't like Tony Kukoc. They had to live with that shit. Like I say, it was a different era because of the salary cap. You can't, I wouldn't say Jordan wouldn't want to play with Magic or play with somebody else, but it was a different timing. That's why I say it was a better era to me because you played defense. That shit was hype. Everybody had somebody. That's why they made Space Jam. Everybody had somebody on their team. It just looked like that because Jordan made it look so easy. It just looked like that because he made it look so easy, man. And to me, I love LeBron. He the best thing a black man can look up to be in. But on that 84 hard floor court, that man can't hold a cup of water to Michael Jordan.
I don't even need a 5. We could put the coach at 5. We'll put Eric Spoelstra at 5. I'm gonna put Stephen Curry at 1. James
Curry got 4 rings in LeBron era.
James Harden at 2. Okay. KD at the 3. Tim Duncan at the 4. I put Eric Spoelstra's weak ass at the 5. We'll wax y'all in 6. 3 championships.
Hey, everybody you said except for who the last big man you said?
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan is the only one that could have played in Jordan era because the rest of them was too soft.
Man, you guys can't shoot, bro.
Except for Curry. We ain't got to shoot. I'm taking you to the brim. We ain't got to shoot. I'm taking you to the brim.
Nah.
What are we shooting for? Who gonna stop me from getting to the hole?
All that. See, them is them tough motherfuckers that should have played football, bro. Basketball is not about how hard you can hack a motherfucking shit, bro.
Man, it's our Jordan, man. They had to make rules because they was killing Jordan.
I don't understand.
They had to make rules because they was killing him.
So is the game
the Pistons were killing him. I don't know, man. Right now it's a little soft for me. I don't want to go to the hole, and if I scream too loud, the referee blow a whistle. It should be somebody got to get hit to get fouled.
I gotta interject because I am a Jordan guy, right? But we all know why the league is soft now because they be protecting players. When a rookie coach, Phil Jackson got that job and never had even been a damn NBA assistant. He was coaching it wasn't the G League, it was called something else, the USBL, but pretty much the G League.
Listen, See,
right?
though everybody getting confused. Phil Jackson didn't make Jordan. Jordan made Phil Jackson. But go
I
ahead,
hear what
brother.
you. No, I could agree with that. But listen, when a coach, see, here's what I believe: opinions. You always have one, but to express it, it's an earned thing, especially on an elite level. When an NBA coach who ain't even coached the NBA season yet can address the refs and the league and say, we got to protect the superstars. But we could look at when Jordan got drafted. You guys remember Jordan's draft night? What they said?
Because back then it was a big man league. They didn't believe in shooting guards. They believed in centers. That's why Jordan said the only man that scared him was Akeem Olajuwon. He wasn't even drafted first. They didn't believe in guards and shit back then as
Right.
being the
They
starter
drafted like
team.
Sam Bowie or something.
Yeah. They remember the big man. They coming off Kareem, Wilt, Bill
Yeah,
Russell. You build your
yeah,
team around the big man during that
right.
time. But
Well,
boy, did the Chicago Bulls get lucky?
My whole point is about the game being soft, right? And my thing is this: well, when coaches are able to influence the way the game is called, the game's gonna get soft, right? Because if you got a dude who he's a rim attacker and he's a ball handler and all that, and like you said, he's getting knocked on his ass. And in defense of the Pistons, they did that to everybody. They came into
Yeah, right.
Seattle.
That was their game. That was
That
their
was how
game
they
plan. That's how they
played.
won.
I went to a
There's a reason they
Detroit
won back to
Seattle.
back finals.
I went to a
Damn
Detroit
right.
Pistons Seattle Sonics game. Man, I've never seen a team that aggressive.
But that's dumb shit, though, bro. Let's come on, man. Come
But I'm
on.
just saying, during the time, no, but that's just what it was. But
That's
guess
not
what?
like
That time is what made basketball popular. That shit with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, motherfuckers clotheslining each other. That's the only game on TV.
right.
That shit grew basketball so strong.
And so it moved, it switched. You know, when this LeBron shit popped off, it's kind of like this Caitlin Clark shit, you know.
And like, listen, I love LeBron. He the GOAT in his way. He do things his way. But like people look at the game a different way. Like in accolades and stats, he the GOAT.
This guy went
He
to
the
10
GOAT, man.
straight championships, bro. Wasn't it like
He went to 10 straight championships.
LeBron?
All that's fine and dandy. All that's fine and dandy. But if you think Jordan wouldn't have played two baseball,
like 9 straight championships.
and guess what? And how many? But all that shit. That sound like the Buffalo Bills. That ain't good enough to go. Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight and lost every one. You can't go to 10 and not be 500.
LeBron didn't.
You can't go to 10 and not be 500. But when you chasing the GOAT, LeBron said it himself, he chasing the GOAT. When you chasing the GOAT,
you got stacked teams. All right, so name one of those.
Guess what?
Name one of those teams that could have beat Golden State.
Name which one? What team? The same team that record they beat.
Jordan
the
beat.
motherfucking 90, the 98. Oh, the team that Jordan beat. Nobody wouldn't beat the Golden State that he played against. But they would have. They would have. They would have. With what?
LeBron,
but you can't leave out Kyrie dropping 40. You can't leave out Kyrie dropping 40 in the clutch game. You can't leave that shit out.
Kyrie's ass getting hurt either. That would have been another.
And you can't leave out Kyrie in the game winning shot either.
You can't leave out.
You know what I'm saying? When that shit came down, see, that's what people got against. That's what they got against LeBron, bro. Like, see, they try to compare him to Jordan, but really they're different players. Like, see, Jordan, I love Jordan because he was a killer.
Plenty of times, bro. Jordan,
he was a killer.
Peter, dog. See, we're
hell no. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
We're not talking about here. LeBron's just a better 3-point shooter than Jordan. He does.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say he a better free. He ain't a better free throw shooter than Jordan. He not a better free throw shooter. And that's the only thing kill me with LeBron. When you the biggest, strongest, fastest person in the league, why the hell did you pull it up out here for a fadeaway when you could go to the hole and get these 2 free throws and win the game? Because you were scared you gonna miss the free throw. Why the hell you passing the game winning shot that you done as Haslam when you only shot the ball 2 times all game? Why the hell you passing to him to make the game winning shot? Put this shit on your back and go get it. Win, lose, or draw, we gonna ride with you.
That jacket on you, brother. But you leaning toward the LeBron hater side, man.
Oh no, that's my guy. In this era, that's my guy. But I'm saying as in Jordan fans, they look at Jordan as a killer instinct, and they look at LeBron passing it up. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron was a passer, a way better passer, a better rebounder, but he wasn't a better
that's
defender.
his game. So you guys are see what we do is try to put
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. They was different. That's what I'm saying, bro. They was different in their game. That's why I hate when they get compared because they was so different. Jordan was a defensive player of the year once. He was 10-time all defensive team. You know what I'm saying? Like they played different games, bro.
Yeah,
they played different games
by himself, though, dog. You know, a lot of
LeBron
times
damn sure he do it all by himself. That man.
Bro.
And listen, bro, a lot of people look at LeBron and say he pick who he wanted. I feel if the Lakers would have took DeMar Rosen instead of Russell Westbrook, LeBron would have had 6 or 7 by now. I think that did better if they took DeMar Rosen. When Magic Johnson had the team and he wanted to pick DeMar Rosen and LeBron chose Russell Westbrook because that was his friend, it was a bad fit from the beginning. Because both of them need the ball to dominate the game.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like everybody holds shit against LeBron because they feel LeBron call all the shots. That's what I'm saying. That's why they hate on LeBron. And they feel LeBron call all the shots. He tell what players he want on his team. He pick what coaches he want. That's how some people feel. But to me, he was the most dominated player, bro. He the most dominant player I ever seen.
Man, he never had
all the
pieces, bro. Never. Even when he won the championship, you know, he never had all the pieces.
You think he's more? Wait, hold on.
But
hold on. You think he's more dominant than Wilt and Shaq?
Yeah. LeBron the most dominant player I've ever seen because he could do what he want to do.
Okay.
He control the ball. He can take it out, and he could. Nobody else has never got to touch the ball. He's the most dominant player in the game. Somebody got to pass Shaq the ball, a pass with the ball. LeBron gonna play. He could play point and he could play center. That's why I say LeBron the best player ever. I feel Jordan was a better player because of what he did, but LeBron could have been way better. And a lot of people feel if he had these same stats and stayed in Cleveland, he'll be the GOAT. A lot of people mad about how he jumped around, how he got different. He got so many Hall of Famers on his team for teammates. Like a lot of people look at that as a slight. I look at it as a plus because I can play with so many different guys. But a lot of people like to see that Kobe stay with the Lakers forever, that Jordan stay with the Bulls forever, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird stay with their team forever. But it's a different time period. That's another reason he gets slighted. But like I say, bro, I love him. Like I love him as a man. And right now he's still the baller. Nobody never had a better 20-year career than LeBron James. I don't give a damn what nobody say. But in my eyes, being that where I'm from in my area, what I see Jordan, I was in kindergarten watching Jordan and motherfucking Charles Barkley in the finals.
Jordan did not
like
have
the motherfucker still.
Jordan did not have.
And then,
like that, bro. He didn't.
Nah, man, his skills were different, bro. Jordan's skills were different, bro.
Yeah, compared
you hear they say about that man. He was a black cat.
Those other guys that just dribble regular, like they show you in the fucking 5th grade tutorial fucking basketball films on YouTube.
And this is what we say about LeBron. LeBron, a 6'8", 270-pound animal. It shouldn't be no reason that you ain't dominate the game the way Jordan did.
He did.
Like there's nobody can stop him.
LeBron got the most points all time. He's been the.
He got the most points all time.
How isn't he dominating? See,
he dominant, but you lost 6. You lost 6 though. You lost 6.
We give more merit to those guys that didn't go to the championship 6 years than LeBron losing 6 years. You see what I'm saying? You see how fucked up society is? Right?
That's how it is, bro. Winning is all that matters.
I can go to 10 championships and lose them all. And motherfuckers will think that's worse than a nigga that didn't even.
Than a motherfucker who won one. A motherfucker that won one get more credit than you that done lost 10. That's just how it is. Nobody can't tell me them 90s Buffalo team was great. A motherfucker never go to 4 straight Super Bowls again. Maybe Patrick Mahomes. But like what the Buffalo Bills did, and that should never be done, just to pick yourself off the mat after losing that bitch every year to get back there again. Like that shit, that's grit to me. You know what I'm saying? That's that bulldog heart. That's bulldog heart.
You can't say
they just
wasn't great, bro.
Hey, lie. Them niggas got worse.
Exactly, bro.
That's the thing.
Exactly,
Buffalo,
bro.
If they would have got better and still lost, that would have been one thing. But that shit got worse, and they
kept getting there.
Hey, bro, the Buffalo Bills single-handedly made the AFC East legend, not AFC, NFC East legendary during the night. You niggas lost to Washington.
Redskins, Cowboys, and the Giants.
You like, I'm all like, damn, how you guys keep losing to the, because you know every division, all divisions have a style of play. I'm looking at this like y'all literally are losing to the same team with a different name.
But listen, they were stacked. Thurman Thomas, Jim Keller, Andre Reed, that shit was stacked. It was the reason they're making it back. Bruce Smith, like that shit was scary over there. I'm a damn Reno fan. I'm from Florida. I'm a Dolphin.
Team, man.
So them motherfuckers kicked our ass many years.
Just because they lost forward, bro. Because I'm a Chief fan.
And that's just like with damn Reno. My guy don't get no respect.
You a Chiefs
My guy don't get no respect. But listen, but when Dan Marino retired, he held every motherfucking record it was except for winning the Super Bowl.
Oh,
that bitch was the best quarterback ever. That bitch threw 48 touchdowns in the running league.
Dan Marino. Dan Marino's a bad.
Yeah, I'm a Dolphin.
Dan Marino, no. See.
Yes, Dan Marino's a
bad. See what I'm saying?
You're not getting away with Dan Marino shit. No.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? As I said, he get a bad slot because he ain't never win it.
You don't like
when he left the league, he held every record. When he retired, he held every single passing record it was to hell, except winning the Super Bowl.
Quarterback ever, bro. Patrick Mahomes is the best.
Yeah, he is to me. I'm talking about doing their time though. I'm talking about like doing that running league, like doing when you ran the ball mostly. Like now it's all about passing.
I don't care about.
It's all about passing. I don't give a fuck about Tom Brady. I think Pat Mahomes better than him, man. Because when you look at Brady, you got to look at when they tore up the tapes for the Rams, how they cheated in the first Super Bowl. You can't tell me the motherfuckers were gonna beat the Rams. That was the greatest show on turf. They had to record the tapes. When they go in there, you tear up all the tapes. That's a cheating scandal. Like all that shit notified for me. I can't go with that cheating shit. The flatted balls. Bill Belichick is known cheater, man. You know what I'm saying? I respect what he did. He won the Super Bowls. He went to a lot of them. But Pat Mahomes doing this shit a little bit different right now. This shit mean a little bit different right now.
Oh, and Brady went to Michigan too, and we know Michigan. They've been notorious since Bo Schembechler. That's the culture at the University of Michigan. We cheat. But I mean,
they damn sure cheated for the last national championship. But they say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Man, look, bro.
It just said how you cheat.
I'm a Seahawk guy and a UW guy, and I'm gonna keep it real. Hey, man, when UW was doing what they had to do,
back when y'all had Mark Bunell,
right? Well, yeah, and Billy Joe Holbert and all. Hey, man, look, I remember in 4 years the UW got like 9 5-stars. Like, bro, I know you're paying. There's no way. Come on. I'm from Seattle. This is Siberia for the United States, my nigga.
Yeah, for football, it is.
For just America. Right, just in general.
Yeah,
look, check this out. Watch this. We was having a conversation online. Then I'm gonna let you guys get back to it. We was talking about Mexican food. Here, we got hella Mexicans. The Mexicans here, they do infrastructure and they cook. And yeah, there's a lot of gang members and shit, but primarily they cook and they build shit. So we having a debate, and they like, oh, Mexican food here is better. I say Mexican food in Washington, we got the best Mexican food. You know what this nigga said to me, Dot? He said, I'm surprised. He said, man, burritos done made it to DC. I started dying. I said, I'm from Seattle. Niggas here, Washington.
Oh man!
No,
first thing they said DC. Bro. That shit, the way the top of the mouth. Like I say, bro, at the top of the mouth, I'm at the bottom of the mouth.
So yeah, I'm all
Florida.
like,
around here, football is king.
Niggas in them other cities, when you say Washington, nobody thinks about the state of Washington. Niggas think you talking about DC, bro. And I can guarantee you, all the listeners, if they from cities or even whatever, you might be from a town, but if you from Georgia, if you from Florida, man, bro, you ain't thinking about Washington and Seattle. I gotta say Seattle.
Yeah, you gotta say Seattle, because that bitch so far from us. Like I'm in Florida. I said, damn, I holler at Bucky. I said, Buck, you waiting at the top of the corner, bitch. I'm at the bottom of the corner. We can't get no further apart.
Man, what we got 4,000
but
miles?
yeah,
from
man.
That's a long
these
way.
days, that ain't shit, you know.
It ain't, bro. It ain't. This
Yeah,
ain't the
okay.
wagon days.
I'm
It
talking
don't
the
take that many
motherfuckers
hours
with
to get there.
Greeks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit. This fucking
Yeah,
earth.
right. I'm
I'm
out
looking
here
for
flying over
the
here.
new earth. So we can expand and
But yeah,
nigga
man, like I
go
said,
and get
dog, that
prosperity.
shit. But back on top of that shit that Bron doing is supposed to get a lot of love and respect for him being able to play with his son. But me growing up, and then like I say, Jordan was a trendsetter. That motherfucker still got the top selling shoes right now. This man ain't bouncing basketball in how many motherfucking years? You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron been in the league for 20 years. He still can't outsell Jordan in no damn shoes.
He ain't trying. He doing better for
But
the
people got their
community
mind
than
made
Jordan.
up.
He's doing better for the
He but
community
see,
than Jordan.
but see, one thing about Jordan, bro, people give Jordan a lot of bad rep about that shit, but he did a lot of shit quietly that he don't speak on. That people got to come out and say, well, yeah, Michael Jordan bought this hospital. He never came out and said it. There's a lot of
Yo,
shit he done did low key that people don't speak on, but he's nothing compared to LeBron. LeBron down there, Muhammad Ali almost in the neighborhood. But I'm just saying, people give
right.
him a bad rep
We
like he don't
talking
do
about
shit.
shoes though.
Like,
We talking about
Hey,
shoes.
so look, if George,
but when it
if
comes to shoes
LeBron,
and culture,
if
it's different.
LeBron,
Al
if
Jordan,
LeBron,
they're never been better seller.
if LeBron is Muhammad Ali,
Yeah, they
this
will.
story is playing out the way it's supposed to. We got to remember, niggas didn't like Muhammad Ali.
Some niggas didn't. Some niggas didn't, except for the close knit community. Because you know,
Right.
a lot of niggas ain't like Muslims.
The
A lot of niggas
real
ain't like Muslims back then. Back then, you know,
the real
doing that
grassroots black
shit.
community, yeah, they like Muhammad Ali. But just, man, you guys watch that show Fight
You
Night.
know, I know.
Y'all
I know.
watch that
Yeah, I'm
show
watching it
Fight
right
Night on
now.
y'all watch
Man, I'm
Fight
not even
Night on
watching that with
Peacock?
Kevin Hart. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, Samuel L.
Hey,
Jackson, and Terrence Howard. I'm watching it. Hell yeah,
the way
you gotta check it out too, bro.
that
That bitch
cop,
good.
the way that cop was talking Don Cheadle, man, bro,
Yeah, Don Cheadle.
that is how a lot of black America felt about Muhammad
Nah,
Ali.
but you can't call, because he was a black police officer during the time where we ain't have no authority. So he already had a little something in
Chip
his
on his
blood
shoulder,
anyway.
huh? Yeah, you
Damn
right.
right, a little
You
Uncle
right.
Tom, a
You
little
right.
brown nose. You know what I'm saying? He can't speak for the regular American that was in the hood during that time around Frank Lucas and all that shit. They're like, the champ always got love in the hood. As long as whatever champ you was, you gonna get love in the hood. And then especially him going through that case and all that shit, he really wouldn't get loved then. Just the humanitarian that he was, man. Like, I think LeBron is on that same level. He ain't scared to speak out. He gonna say something. One thing about Jordan, Jordan protect his money, but shit, he ain't the only motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't the only motherfucker that protect their money, don't want to say too much. Then LeBron did the same thing with that China shit. He didn't want to speak bad about them people. And they put money in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? That shit be a slippery slope. But you can't come out. But like people like, that's why I respect people like Jim Brown, goddamn Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They ain't give a damn in them days. They'll tell you how they feel. That's why he quit football. He ain't give a damn about being no money or none of that shit. I'm for my people. But everybody ain't like that. Everybody ain't finna drop everything and go to marching with Martin Luther King or whatever. Like Jim Brown them did, and you know what I'm saying? Just like a nigga OJ. OJ say, I'm OJ. I ain't finna mess up my money. I'm the first black brother
He
on
said, I'm
TV.
not black. I'm not black. I'm OJ.
I'm not black, I'm OJ.
That boy, that's woo. That's yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, man. But
All
yeah,
right, man.
bro.
Let's
But you
get
know what I'm
back
saying? It's all
Get on the
love.
same page,
okay.
bro.
So
Because
what do you
now I
how
think
do you
it's a
feel
big
about the
bag of
debut?
baloney. He was minus 16 when he was on the floor, 0 for 1, 13 minutes. Did not look good whatsoever. Beautiful words. Move mountains. The earth shaking. I gave that
Give your
speech
phone
last
there.
week, guy. Big bag of baloney until we get this shit right. Yeah. I ain't like it one bit.
Wait, not the stats, just the moment.
Thing about it, Stat, I seen Ken Griffey and his father be on the same baseball field. I've seen it before.
So how the
See, it
fuck
ain't
are
the
we
same
gonna
thing.
put Craig Griffey Jr. and
That's
his
not.
dad
I,
on
I'm
this level?
I'm from
It ain't the
Seattle.
same thing.
It
They're
ain't.
different
It's
sports.
not the same
It's not the
thing.
same thing.
Hey man, look.
Nah, basketball is a whole different animal.
And I'm
That
not
shit
taking
different.
nothing away. I'm not taking nothing away from Ken Griffey Sr. But look up what happened with that. Ken Griffey Sr. shouldn't have even been in baseball no more when Junior came around. Now that was some cook up.
Somebody had some background.
So it ain't like I ain't seen no shit like this before. It wasn't
You
basketball, but I seen professional
Stat never
sports.
seen it.
See, the point
LeBron-y.
is, you can sit there and stat, and I dig it. Oh, it's the moment. I seen the moment already. Ken Griffey, his father played on the same team, same field. I did it. Sorry, I'm old enough to see it. I missed it. All the new people, heartwarming. Oh, it was delicate. It was dope for the moms, which I'm not saying everything Mason say was legit. Big bag of baloney. 0 for 1.
He seems like a hater, dog. This is sounding like a hater. He's hating.
Which is odd because when they talked about this last time, he was on a whole other side. Now, if his thing is he's just focused on the stats.
Nah,
okay.
fuck that.
No, just hear me out.
She told him about the moment. The moment was baloney, right? Big bag of baloney. That's what he just said. So we can't. She told him to, in what context she's asking him, because they got other topics on this show, right?
Right, for sure. I watch it.
Moment. That's what we're talking about. The moment. We're not talking about the stats. Ben Simmons had 2 fucking points.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what I love about the situation with LeBron and Bronny.
See how we just
Craig Griffin Jr.
overlooked
was better
that?
than his dad.
Overlooked that. We just overlooked
You feel
that.
me?
It's next
Yep.
subject.
Yeah. Ken Griffey Jr. was definitely better than Senior.
Listen,
we go to the next
Craig
subject.
Griffin Jr. See, this is what I love about LeBron and Bronny, because a black man have enough pull so my son can get drafted. I love the nepotism. I don't care if Bronny not good enough. I love to see that. They've been doing it for so many years. Why I can't be good enough power to get my boy where I want him to be at? Like, I love that. Craig Griffin Jr. was gonna make it there regardless, whether his daddy or not. Craig Griffin Jr. was way better than his daddy.
Well, no, when
LeBron being
and all this shit, and Mike Shanahan, all them motherfuckers get to the Belichick.
Oh yeah. Hey,
they get to fucking do
it. What they call it? Hey, what they call it, Buck? They call it it's a brotherhood. How they pass around jobs in the NFL? Motherfucking coach just had a losing season, and he get another head coaching job. How the hell is that possible? Okay, we see what it is. It's nepotism. Why the black man can't get the shot at the job?
Hey, a perfect example of that to me is that dude Lane Kiffin.
Damn right. His daddy, Money Kiffin, was the GOAT. That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers D coordinator when they won the Super Bowl with Derrick Brooks and all them. Monty Kiffin was a made man. He dragged his son and got him in there. That's how it go.
And look,
I'm gonna make sure my boy always has some money.
All Lane Kiffin gets is major coaching jobs. Like, he never got.
That's all he get, no matter how bad he do.
That's all he gets. Is major
he did so bad in Tennessee. That man did so bad in Tennessee. That man had thugs from Florida that he got from high school. They was down there robbing the place and everything, robbing shit and all. But they were good players. But they was from the hood. But they was down there gang banging. Man, Lane Kiffin walked out of there and got a better job. I said, oh, what the fuck? This man done showed you who he is. Now he do nothing but hang out with the young girls, chilling at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin, the made man. It's like Mike Shanahan, a made man. Shanahan, a made man, because who his daddy was. Come on, man. This shit ain't no secret. This ain't no secret, bro.
And it's Bronny's turn. I get it.
I love that. I love that about it. That's my favorite part about it, man.
He was minus 16 when he was on the floor for 13 minutes. Did not look good whatsoever. Beautiful words. Move mountains. The earth shaking. I gave that speech last week. All right? Big bag of baloney until we get this shit right. I ain't like it one bit.
Wait, not the stats, just the moment.
Thing about it, stat, I seen Ken Griffey and his father be on the same baseball field. I've seen it before. So it ain't like I ain't seen no shit like this before. It wasn't basketball, but I seen professional
Stat never
sports.
seen it.
See, the point
LeBron-y.
is, you can sit there and stat, and I dig it. Oh, it's the moment. I seen the moment already. Ken Griffey, his father played on the same team, same field. I did it. Sorry, I'm old enough to see it. I missed it. All the new people, heartwarming. Oh, it was delicate. It was dope for the moms, which I'm not saying everything Mace say was legit. Big bag of baloney, 0 for 1, minus 16. They lost the game, 13 minutes. No.
Yeah, he had 6 minutes, 4 turnovers, but he had 2 rebounds.
6 minutes, 4 turnovers.
It's a Bronny James, 13 minutes. 13 minutes, 0 for 1,
Come on, LeBron.
minus 16 points from when he's on the floor.
Did nothing.
Nope, not doing the moment thing. I gave the moment last week. Now I got to call it.
And that's one preseason game. These are some hating motherfuckers. These are the type of motherfuckers that they was waiting on this guy to fail so they could get up here and talk shit. Like, oh, I can't wait. He one of them motherfuckers. Oh, I can't wait till he have a bad game. I'm on his ass. Like, bro, one thing I can't stand is a hating motherfucker, bro. And I fuck with Cam. Killer Season, you know, all that shit. You know, that shit was funny. You know, all the movies and shit. Paid in full and shit. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, bro, this is a bad look for Cam, bro. What up, Borderland?
What's going down?
Oh, man.
Signal
Cool.
But I
Talk
had
to
to
us.
I heard Jeff say that Seattle got the best Mexican food.
Oh shit.
I beg to differ, baby.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I got this spot that got these fish tacos, man. Is they bomb, bro. I love them. Matter of fact, just because you said something, I'm getting some today. Fuck.
Man, I'm right here on the border, baby. You know what I'm saying? I could stand and El Paso at the same time.
I was just about to say, what you in El Paso or something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
y'all got some good Mexican food in El Paso, bruh.
Hey, man.
Yep, you should stand up for it. I know that's right.
Yeah. But other
Yep.
than that, what's going on, fellas?
Man, it just sounds like Cam's a hater, dog. Just his remarks and shit. I mean, I know he's 9 times out of 10 when you hear him and see him on any platform, it's some funny shit. He's an asshole. I get it. You know, I'm an asshole too. But there's a thin line, bro. Like, you hating right now. You hating because you see this young dude that's gonna have more than you. You can't tell me you're not all about the money, because we know you. We know your whole characteristics and the moves you make. Social media, you know, just you're rapping, all that shit. Yeah, it's not all true with lyrics and shit, but you can kind of get an idea of what's going on, you know. So you all about the fucking money. So here when you get motherfuckers like that, when you're in that competitive state of mind, you can't stand to see a motherfucker like Bronny go to the league when you wanted to go to the league. You had interviews saying that you wanted to be in the league, you know. So now you hating on this guy. It's preseason. Ben Simmons ain't even had 2 points. That should have been the biggest goddamn story. Ben Simmons been in the league 4-5 years, probably 6 years. You feel me? This guy had 2 points. So why isn't that bigger than this shit? That's my thing. He sound like a hater. But I let him say it again. You know,
Yeah, I don't know.
I just run the clip back. This is his analysis on. She asked him about Bronny James. Let's go to Mace first, because Mace, you know, has some really good shit to say about it. You know,
LeBron and Bronny made history as the first father-son duo to share the court. However, they lost their preseason game to the Suns, 118-114. Obviously, we know it's just preseason. But before we get into the stats, what do you think about them sharing the moment together on the court?
I think it was very positive. I think it was a moment definitely of a lifetime.
Right.
I don't know how long it'll be before we see this again. I think it was tremendous in the value that it provides for Black families. It's a lot of great takeaways from this. So, anybody listening to this, I'm not constantly like on LeBron. It's just I have to give an objective view. And because everywhere you go, it seemed like people are just parading for LeBron. But this was an excellent moment. I think it was terrific for Black kids to see a Black father with a Black son playing on the same team, regardless of the stats. I mean, just for history, for like the eyeball test, for people to see something and to give the future athletes something to shoot after. It's so many wonderful points that I could pull out from this. I'll even give you 3 more, even for the mom to be able to see her husband. Can you imagine how jovial she is
Right.
to see her husband playing and her son playing at the same time? This got to do wonders for her heart. I don't know what she's ever been through, but I know something like this can move like mountains of hurt, pain, disappointment, or anything when you see these type of things happen in a family.
That's
Hey,
right.
can we
Me
stop
and
it
you
real
can
quick?
never be on the
Can we
same
stop
page.
it real quick?
Sure.
Now, we just heard Mace, right?
Yeah.
Because I like to go down the rabbit hole. You heard the words he was using, right? See, that comes from
Jovi.
public speaking. Yeah, that comes from being a rapper, public speaking, being a minister, being a pastor, fellowshipping, interacting with motherfuckers, right? All of y'all with kids under my voice, make sure your kids know how to talk in public. Make sure they got a vocabulary, right? Because niggas is gonna whip out words. Now we know what jovial means, but the last time we heard that was probably in a sermon. That shit that motherfuckers say in church. That's scripture type talk. We gotta remember how important it is to communicate. So this
That's
is what
100.
Mace is showing me, just the importance of it. Yeah, he talks slow like me and but he knows how to express himself. What he just said, was that some beautiful shit, my niggas?
Yeah, it was great.
It was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. I just had to do that because I like to make us think a little bit.
That's what Cam should have said.
Well, Cam's gonna do it different, because before, when people was criticizing it, his whole thing was, well, what did your father do for you? And I hear all that. I mean, most of us, the best our fathers could do is put us in position to
But
be a
Cam probably
stand-up
can't
dude.
even dunk. Like, we talking about what your father did to you.
No, for
Did
you.
Well,
For
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is when he was
Cam probably can't
supporting.
even dunk. Is there any footage of Camron dunking anywhere?
I've
Right?
only seen. Listen, bro.
People said he had footage in high school. Where's
He
the
did,
footage?
but it was that shit from that movie, bro. That's all we've seen.
Nah. They said that he really could ball though.
No, I'm not saying he can't, but I'm saying
was he
this.
dunking? That's my thing. So
I
we're
doubt
talking
it.
about what your dad does for you.
I doubt.
And the athleticism is one thing that we're discussing. Athletes, right?
Before Mace was talking different. That's all.
Man, I told my son right off the muscle, he ain't gonna be no giant. But I told him, I was like, bro, if you're not dunking, you're not gonna be no Division I. You're not gonna be no NBA guy, bro. Period. It is what it is. You can say that's harsh, but that's reality, bro. Even Nate Robinson could dunk on motherfuckers, bro.
But man, Nate, oh my goodness, man, you want to talk about an F, man, bro?
No, he could dunk. If he couldn't dunk, he wouldn't have been in the league, bro. Period. I don't want to hear it. And he's from my town, whatever, bro. I know his mom.
Yeah, but he ain't in the league because he can dunk. He's in the league because he could defend. Well, he was in the league. And think about it. If Nate would have been 6'2", let's say he couldn't jump as high.
We can't do that. We can't do that.
No, we can. We've been doing it all day. We've been doing this all day.
I mean, if Allen Iverson was 6'7",
yeah. Hey, if Nate was 6'6", man, whoa,
man, I
he
would.
just better be lucky he was 5'9".
He had good defense, but he was also a defensive liability. You know, because of his size. You know, he couldn't do shit when they post him up.
That's when you give him some help. You got to give him some help.
Yeah, you can't always. That's what they're trying to eliminate. That's why they put the 6'8" guy doesn't need help. You feel me? They'll go get the.
Can that 6'8" guy get a bucket? Man, bro, there's a lot of tall niggas who might not need help on D, but they can't go get a bucket.
Shit.
All right.
Everybody starting in the league can go get a bucket. So if you're gonna be a bench player,
does Rudy wait? Hold on, because see, I've been waiting for you to do this. So Rudy Gobert could go get a bucket. Let's be honest, Dr. Hood.
14 points a game, shit, easy, and 15 boards. Like, what are we talking about? Man. Now, if Nate Robinson get 15 boards a game, then we ain't gonna be seeing if he could do all this other shit.
If a 5'9" nigga in high school averaged 15 points a game, the game, if not 15 points, 15 boards a game, the game is rigged.
I'm just
ain't
saying.
No way.
So, I mean, we could talk about what the contributions that other people don't give, and a lot of times it's a system. If you had a team, do you want Rudy Gobert taking it to the hole, or are you going to go get you some guys that can probably do that shit better than his tall ass? Now, what I need him to do is when other dudes is trying to go get a bucket, drive into the hole, I need you to be a rim protector. That's what I look at him at. You know, now those guys that's going to get the buckets, I'm probably not going to be looking at them to protect the rim, right? That's all I'm saying. You know, but Cam's a hater, man, just to make a long story short.
Bro, because now I think it's a big bag of baloney. He was minus 16 when he was on the floor, 0 for 1, 13 minutes. Did not look good whatsoever.
That's that when you're on the floor.
I'm going in a bad area.
Now the stat about the minus, the plus and minus, I think that's the dumbest stat. Although it has some truth to it, but all like 1 for 16, shit. Was his guy burning him up personally? Because I didn't watch it, you know, because it don't matter. Yeah, they won. You know, it's probably gonna lose the game. That's probably a game where the other team went on a run, bruh. It ain't always the person's fault of what the fuck it is, you know. So I think that's a bunch of bullshit, and that he'll highlight that one stat.
Beautiful words. Move mountains. The earth shaking. I gave that speech last week. All right? Big bag of baloney until we get this shit right. Yeah. I ain't like it one bit.
Wait, not the stats, just the moment.
See, thing about it, stat, I seen Ken Griffey and his father be on the same baseball field. I seen it before.
That was the dumbest shit ever. So that's all he could think of. Dude, stop it, man.
So it ain't like I ain't seen no shit like this before. It wasn't basketball, but I seen professional sports.
Never seen it.
See, the point is, you can sit there and stat, and I dig it. Oh, it's the moment. I seen the moment already. Ken Griffey, his father played on the same.
Yeah, but there's other kids like mine. So my 8-year-old, he was kind of shocked. He was like, "Oh, they're on the court together." You know, I could just see his eyes just light up. It's like, dang, LeBron, you know, his son and shit. You know what I'm saying? That kind of encourages people. I mean, if you want your kids to play sports, you know, you might want to wrap a extra hand around them and bring them in a little bit more. Like, damn, somebody got a 2-year-old that they went and bought a basketball for yesterday and to spend more time with them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see nothing Like, this shit's weird listening to this, honestly.
Same team, same field. I did it. Sorry, I'm old enough to see it. I missed it. All the new people, heartwarming. Oh,
Yeah,
it was delicate.
for
It was
sure.
dope for the moms, which I'm not saying everything Mason say was legit. Big bag of baloney. 0 for 1, minus 16. They lost the game. 13.
0 for 1. He shot the ball one time, and you criticize him.
Because he's focused on the stats. He ain't focused on the moment.
It ain't no stat. That plus and minus shit's bullshit. All they're adding up is what was the points while you was on the floor. That don't have nothing to do with the guy that I'm sticking. I heard he had 3 steals. Or
Yeah,
3
but
blocks.
if he had 4 turnovers,
it happened.
That's what the plus and minus is.
Well, that if you watched it, that could have contributed to it. Maybe he lost the ball and they went down and didn't fucking score though.
Look, my thing is this. Because there's all type of sports where you could get in there a little earlier, right? We all watch boxing. Let's say this happened in boxing. Okay, cool. It happened in boxing. They both pro boxers. What's going to happen, there's going to be a dynamic of people who all they want to know, well, did he win? Right? Then they're going to say it's a bag of baloney because I'm no longer focused on the moment. I'm focused on the results. And this is what happens with sports, right? The bottom line is winning and losing. Like no matter what we talking about, someone is going to come in just wanting to know, did you win or lose? And hey, whatever happened with that happened. But man, how often will we see this on this level? Period. It's rare in college that a player could play for his dad. That's rare in college. And they could just give you a scholarship. So when we talking about this, I just want to kind of concentrate on the moment. Because once we get into the stats, that's where we start being able to insert things.
Throw
And
the stats away, man. This is his first preseason game. This haters. That's all that is. I done seen Westbrook go, or James Harden, one of those guys, they went like 0 for 20. They went out on the floor and shot 0 for 20. He said, they was like, what do you do when you get in that slump? What do you do? He was like, keep shooting.
Keep shooting. You got to shoot yourself out of a slump.
I go 0 for 30. He said, I go 0 for 30. Keep shooting, bro.
That's a fact. If I'm coaching a player and he's a scorer, I'm gonna tell him, hey, you can't get out the slump by passing. You're gonna have to keep shooting.
Then we're talking about genetics.
That's a fact.
All these genetics and if it's LeBron's dad, arguably the best athlete, and you know what I'm saying, that shit don't always translate. So now we just know about genetics and shit. We know about genotypes and phenotypes and all of this shit and everything that has to do with genetics and shit, dog. Come on, bro. We can't do this, man.
Hey, these motherfuckers don't even know you know about that shit, Dr. Hood, man. Take them to church, man. Take them to school. They think all you know about is breeding dogs. See, my nigga know about genotypes and phenotypes. Don't come over here playing.
Well, that's what the dogs is. That's what
we learn.
It's 90% that, when you're dealing with this breed that I fuck with, you know what I'm saying? But that's another topic, But nah, this guy's a hater, man. I ain't gonna burn y'all all day. This guy's a hater, bro.
2 minutes. No.
Yeah, he had 6 minutes, 4 turnovers, but he had 2 rebounds.
6 minutes, 4 turnovers.
It's a Bronny James, 13 minutes. 13 minutes, 0 for 1, minus 16 points from when he's on the floor.
Did nothing.
Nope. Not doing the moment thing. I gave the moment last week. Now I got to call it like I see it. Sorry.
They gave him 13 minutes. That was good. I think he's going to be able to contribute, man. I'm not.
If you would shoot, and now here's one thing I'll say, and I'm sure LeBron's going to tell Bronny, if you a shooting guard and you play 13 minutes, you can't get up one shot, bro. You're not giving yourself an opportunity to really. You're a shooting guard. You got to shoot.
That's the first preseason game though.
Yeah, but you play 13 minutes. In 13 minutes, you got to get up 4 shots. You got to. And that's a team thing. Like, I'm not blaming Bronny, but yeah, I understand.
I disagree, bro. I disagree.
What? Man, a shooting guard, if you play in 13 minutes and you only shoot one time, even if you make that shot, that you're a shooting guard. Man, shoot the rock. I ain't saying
I disagree. I don't disagree about the one shot, but I disagree about you have to take at least 4 shots. I don't think that's that that's not his role. That's not his role.
But they developing him.
So he let him get another preseason game. That's my thing.
Yeah, I'm with you, Buck. But throw the stats out. I'm with you, Buck. Throw the stats out. Like, come on, the man play. He ain't.
What are we talking about right now?
Throw the stats out.
This ain't the playoffs.
This ain't the finals. Yeah, no, this is fucking damn preseason. Straight up.
This preseason. I think we're forgetting. This is preseason, man. Come on, man. Let him live.
Man. Come on.
Hey,
everybody got to start somewhere. Like you say, Joel Embiid went 0 for 22. Joel Embiid, one of the best scorers we've ever seen, as a big man, didn't score a point in the game and missed every shot he made. It happened to the best of them. So what you think gonna happen to a kid? This is his first time really playing against these guys in this type of environment. Come on, man, be for real. He did a solid job. He can only grow.
I'm gonna give y'all some pushback. I'd rather see a young dude in his first game go 0 of 6 in 12, 13 minutes than just 0 of 1.
But that ain't his game. You gotta find your rhythm.
I disagree.
You gotta find your rhythm.
I disagree for this reason. Because
he ain't known as no scorer. He's known as a defender. Like, that's his game. Like, as a defender, you don't supposed to take that many shots.
Baby,
in my opinion. But go ahead, Buck.
He muted himself. He muted himself, bro. Go ahead and keep chopping it up.
But yeah, man. Like I don't think that's his game. He ain't never been known as no scorer. You know what I'm saying? He want to be a defender. You can't judge him going for 0 for 1. Okay, he's 50%. If that's the case.
No, that's 0%.
Yeah, true.
My thing is this: if you miss a shot, give yourself an opportunity. Like, even just running at the hoop, you'll get 3 shots just attacking the hoop. I'm not saying that I want this dude to be James Harden. I'm just saying, like, in this league,
put a little more effort in scoring the ball. You got to score the ball in this league.
And look, even if you ain't, even if you got an off night, man, put that joint up, because a lot of these coaches, they want players who ain't scared to shoot. Now, I didn't watch the game. Maybe you didn't get the opportunity, right? Because they might have put him in the corner, and the PJ Tucker thing. But like you said, man, this is his first game, and maybe the next game he will shoot a couple shots. Cool. Don't shoot 6 times, shoot 3. Do something and get to the free throw line. Okay,
so this is why I disagree, Chef. Because background. Because if you get a guy like that just wants to come out there and shoot his first game and shit, all of this shit, I know everybody's trying to test him out and see if he's as good as his dad, which is unfucking fair, right? But at that point, as a coach or as a teammate, I'm going to be looking at this guy like he's a liability, bro. Like, okay, damn, this guy just came out first game. He just want to get jack and shit. Like, maybe that might not work, bro. You know, like you got a guy like LeBron James on your team. That's just like having Kobe on your fucking team, bro. You know what I'm saying? Kobe, he'll probably go in the office and get rid of you right away. You know, let's just take this LeBron's my dad shit out of the equation also. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is LeBron's son. So if he shoots 100 times, it's okay. But if another guy does that, he's off the team, right?
Yeah, we saying that already. I mean, look, it's time and it's clout.
Think about it, man.
Hey,
Think about
look,
it.
here's
It's still
the
his,
thing.
because LeBron, his dad, it's still his first NBA game. Like, the man got some nerve. Like, this is my first time in the NBA. Come on, man. Preseason. Come on, man.
We don't even watch preseason, bro. We don't even watch that shit.
So this is my whole point about getting some shots up. We're only here. Look, bro, what? Okay, not the Connect dude, because we know what he's doing because he played for the Lakers. But the one boy for the damn Atlanta Hawks balled out. I didn't see that shit. I heard about it, but I can't even think of this dude's name. Now, I tell you what, if his dad was Kevin Durant, I would know. I would watch the highlights. I'd know him. I'm talking about a player who they said played well. They said this kid played well. Bro, I don't know his name. I didn't see it.
Nobody right now, bro, this year, nobody will be more scrutinized than Bronny James, bro.
That's a fact.
Cause you know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna look at him as what he's supposed to do. Oh, LeBron, his dad, just like Buck say, them genetics don't always carry. Yeah, he got some of them, but he got other genes too. Just him making it should be great enough, bro. Just him being out there on the floor with his pop should be great enough. I don't expect him to go to 10 finals like his dad and be the catalyst leader of the team. Come on, man. We still watching history, and it's still one of the best stories we're gonna see this year. We just gotta give it props what it is, man. That shit big. That shit big. For what basketball can do to your body, and for you to play long enough to play with your son, that in itself is an accomplishment of his own.
That exactly. Because if,
you know what I'm saying?
Look, if LeBron would have had him at 22, we wouldn't see this.
That background, crazy.
It's the timing of everything. When you in the NBA having your first kids in your early or mid 20s, one thing you know, oh yeah, you might even be in the league when they playing high school ball. You still ain't gonna be in the league when they make it to college. Not college, excuse me, to the NBA, if they make it to the NBA. So, like I say, it's the timing. Because if they would have started at 21, man, how old would he be now? That means he wouldn't be in the league.
Hey, Buck, my bad. I got this damn hurricane coming, man. I'm outside and the wind blowing. But yeah, man.
Man, you out there in the hurt, man. What's going on out there, bro? What's FEMA doing, bro?
It's a category 4, man. That bitch on the wall. You know, I'm from Florida. Like, we used to this shit. But it's supposed to hit the West Coast and come through the East Coast and still be a hurricane. So I'm already boarded up. I got my shutters up. It's a normal routine around here, man, during this time of the year. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy though. That bitch is 180 miles an hour, category 5. I never seen nothing like that before on TV. It don't slow down now, but it's just scary that it got that big. It was 180, category 5, man.
Man, that's crazy.
You don't supposed to hit into the night. But we still getting the effects of it right now. Like, it's dark as hell. We still getting out of bands and shit coming through. Hey, but Bucky Pup, we love it. My girls named him Turbo. He out here walling around and hanging out.
Old Turbo.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah,
Turbo, man. That's his name. Turbo.
Yeah, this boy's a hater though, man. That's what I know.
Full-fledged hater. Like, but you can't hate on no shit like that, especially being another black man. You supposed to praise shit like this. Come on, man. Like, that shit, that's some real hater shit though, for real. Straight up.
Now, if let's say his son would have knocked off 3 broads, you know, in a video surface, you know, Bronny James knocked off three vixen thought ass bitches out here, Meg the Stallion and these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, you know, them hoes, they got money. But he would have loved that. Camron would have been up on here like, yeah, Brody was smoking a blunt, smacking it. And, you know, like he would have loved that. You feel me?
See what I'm saying? See the difference in the community? That's crazy you said that, bro.
That's bullshit, dog.
That's crazy you said that.
That's bullshit. See, I know what a hater is, bro. You know, one thing about I come from game. You know, I come from game. I know what a hater is, dog. That's a defense mechanism. Just like when dudes be coming up to you, you know. Man, come on, dog. I used to wear this big ass chain when I was younger. And even if I had it tucked in, you know how you can see it in the motherfucker's neck right there.
Damn right, you can still see it. You can still see it.
So motherfuckers, like when they come up and talk to me, I know who's on some bullshit because they'll look on my neck before they even look me in my eye. You know what I'm saying? Like you already looking at my neck, bro. You know? That's a defense mechanism. But I ain't gonna give you guys all the game, man. This is a good stream. We about an hour and 50 in. You know, I know these brothers got to get it going, man. We, you know.
Yeah, man. Hey, anybody in Florida, y'all be safe, man. This shit coming through. Buckle down. If you gotta leave, make sure your ass get up out of town. This shit for real, man.
Yeah, man.
But holler at me though, boy. Y'all boys stay up, man. Everybody be safe.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap in, lot boy.
100.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna tap in, man. Some shit. I'm gonna tap in with you. I'm gonna tap in. With you.
Hey, before you end
100.
Did we let Cam like finish? Did he? Because I could mute up and just let it run so that people could really get the gist of where you coming from.
I mean, he was hating.
Listen,
we heard 35 hater line.
I want to work out cool. And what May said is absolutely true. And what Stat is trying to get at is, it is a moment. Unfortunately, I seen this moment. And you know what? Both them niggas was nice. Ken Griffey Jr. ended up being better than Ken Griffey Sr. And his sneakers was hot.
And his sneakers was better.
Yeah, and his sneakers was better. So I actually seen two professional athletes on a baseball field where the son actually became better than the father.
But how hard was that be to get better than Griffey Sr.? I'm not shitting on Griffey Sr.
Exact, bro. I'm not hate, man. What are,
I'm
like
not gonna
you say,
shit on Griffey Sr.
What are we talking about right
I ain't
now?
gonna shit on Griffey Sr.
For me to like break that down.
It's like he dug this up.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Ken Griffey Jr. got part of the best swing in baseball history. Of course he's gonna be better than his dad. How hard was it gonna be? Come on, man. This man was a phenom. Like they crazy, man. That man it's not the same, bro. It's 100% different.
And look, and wait. And Ken Griffey Sr. was a motherfucker, but let's not like this dude wasn't Dave Winfield. This dude wasn't he wasn't one of those guys, man. He wasn't Willie Mays or nothing. Like this, you know. I hear what Cam is saying, but you ain't saying it right, bro.
Let me.
You ain't saying he ain't saying nothing.
Giving him something new to shoot for.
There you go.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I hate to agree with you, but
let's get Ken Griffey on this.
Yeah,
and junior and senior,
and get better sneakers.
Yeah, and not only that, not only did I see it before, they was juniors and Ken Griffey Senior, and I seen the hoes play before. Now, it's basketball. Let's. Mace made a great point. Let's shoot for that type of greatness. Still love you enough. So I got a job to do though, man. I'll call you off behind the scenes.
How you shooting for that type of greatness, dog? LeBron James is the best player ever in basketball. Ken Griffey Jr. was not the best baseball player ever. He wasn't. He was good. I'm not going to take nothing from him, but he wasn't the best, bro.
He was great.
And the Mariners was weak as shit. I'm from here. Every day I wake up in the middle of the night, they got the highlights on. Oh, Mariners up 4-0, and then in the 6th inning, they let 5 runs come in. They lose.
We still doing that shit. We just did that shit the other day against the motherfucking Astros.
That shit was last night, dog. We just did that shit. Or no, that was the Kraken. That was the Seattle Kraken.
Hey, I hope Seattle win. I watch Seattle lose.
Hey, bro.
You already know, bro.
How can we put both of these things in the same realm? It's nuts.
You know, but at the end of the day, I love you, and I'm hoping for better. But I did not like the debut whatsoever.
You know better, you do better.
Yeah, there you go.
He know better.
Yeah. You know, we got the saying up here, it is what it is, but that ain't what it could be.
This is the killer, I know. Cutthroat records.
Yeah, listen, I know who's going to call me tomorrow. Yo, Cam, you wildin'. I'm sorry, y'all.
Now, he might not fuck with you. If I was him, I wouldn't fuck with you. Because, honestly, when dudes say hater shit like this, those are the type of dudes you want to stay away from, brother. I wouldn't be surprised. A motherfucker will say anything. It's already the music industry's a bunch of fake motherfuckers, bro. I don't know how the NBA is because I ain't in the NBA. You know, I was in the music industry for a while. And it's a bunch of fake ass motherfuckers, dog.
Music industry, especially in my state,
it's some fake motherfuckers, dog. It's a bunch of motherfuckers. They'll see, man. They won't try to help you. Now, even right now, we got so many connections up here, bro. It's ridiculous. Nobody's like putting it together though, like because they're hating. It's haters. These motherfuckers be hating, dog. Oh, he's not business like he's not. Help him out. Help him structure his shit. You see, he got more talent than you. You missed your window 20 years ago, but you holding all the connections. Dude, that's not how you get on, dog.
Gatekeeping ass niggas, bro.
You know, it's whole
gatekeepers, bro.
These niggas is hoes. Oh, they ain't even the gatekeepers. They gatekeeping for the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
They the middleman gatekeeping motherfuckers.
Right.
Bro. That's what they are, bro.
Right.
For real. They ain't even got the juice. They just know the motherfucker, but they don't want to introduce you to them.
You're a guard dog.
They feel like they're going to get cut out of the deal. You ain't the deal. Hook somebody up.
Right.
We're always looking for a kickback.
See, everybody always a self-gain instead of looking to help another brother out like you're supposed to. Stop looking at what's in it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers, hey, maybe somebody might help you.
Now, I said a long time ago, in just basic black society, one of the worst sayings we adopted was the game is sold, not told. Because if you won't tell the game, see, I understand in pimping, I understand in dealing drugs. Why would I give you the game? Nah, okay, you want the plug? See, that's different. But if I'm trying to be a machinist, nigga, I'm trying to be an electrician. You gatekeeping on that. I'm trying to figure out when the open tryouts are for whatever might be going on. Right? Niggas is gatekeeping shit like AAU tryouts. I done seen it myself. Somebody asked, niggas is gatekeeping tennis shoes, bro. Right.
And guess what? To me, all that shit fall up under hating, man.
Absolutely.
Straight up. Damn, help a brother out, man. Real.
Yeah. We gotta
like back when I was coming up, my dad had mixed mud. Like I learned how to do construction at an early age. He taught me that. Like somebody taught him. Like if you don't help nobody, you'll never you can't get nowhere. You can't get nowhere like that, bro. Like you like I say, the game supposed to be told, not sold.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
the
crazy.
game is supposed to be told, especially amongst your own. I'm gonna keep it real. I completely understand if you got a skill set and you a black man, you a brother, and that's what your focus is. I get it. Everybody's doing that. But when you won't help your own, that gets interesting to me.
That's the problem, bro. That's the problem, man. Like everybody look at what's in it for me. What's in it for me? It should be like you helping somebody should be enough gratitude to make you feel good about yourself. Teaching somebody a new trade or helping them feed their family or whatever, that should make you feel good about yourself. But there's so much selfishness in this world today Like people look at that as a negative. That's crazy, man.
Anytime I help another black person, I automatically know what's in it for me. I'm helping my own. That's my reward.
Right.
That's where I won. Because you know what? I some people, they probably Negrodamus and they can see the future. Me, I ain't sure what's gonna happen. How do I know that your grandson ain't gonna be the mentor to my great grandson? And then they tell this story. Oh, he's the one who taught my dad. Because I've met people that way.
Listen, bro. I don't give a fuck if it's plumbing, carpentry, anything, bro. The Mexicans don't charge each other to teach them how to do drywall, dog.
No.
If I was a Mexican, I wouldn't have to pay to learn how to put up a fence. I wouldn't have to do that shit. You know, I get in there, work, get my training. You know, they're gonna teach you, bro. It's just our community that we always want a handout for giving up some game, dog. That's dumb shit. That's dumb.
Listen, man, black people want money from it. Black people want money to take their own mama to the grocery store.
If you want to get paid for everything, open up a store, bro. That's perfect for you. Perfect. You get paid for everything. Every time somebody walk in there, you get paid, bro.
Money, man. Everybody look at it. What's in it for me? Go back to that. What's in it for me? You know what I'm saying? Like everything don't got to be about money, man. It should be about gratitude and building your community, especially us as black people. That's our biggest problem.
Let me see if Cam cleaned it up a little bit. Maybe he did. You know.
I don't know. I didn't like it.
What about you, LeBronny?
I mean, he did not play well, but it is preseason and I'm happy for them. I thought that was really dope to see. The pictures alone are super fire to me. So it just, I don't know, like, it just looks very like, wow, like they really did that. So that's how I feel about it. That's why I asked about the moment first.
Don't tell me you one of them people.
That like
the kid get in the third grade, you say he's only in the third grade. He get in the 8th grade. He's only in the 8th grade.
Right.
He got time.
Yeah. See, my thing. This is my thing, Murder. And we talk about nepotism and LeBron James power and Rich Paul power and everything else. This is right here yesterday, and not just yesterday, with the seasons coming up in this contract. We did everything we could do. we did everything in our power. Rich Paul, LeBron James, everybody. Now this is on you. We can't do nothing else. We can't
put the system.
Yeah, we can't put the ball in the basket. Like everything in our power, we actually done. We told niggas don't touch you when it was draft time. We told niggas get you on the Lakers. We told niggas that you only averaged 4 or 5 points in USC, but you were. And of course, he had a health issue, came back from it. So his college career wasn't that great. We did everything. The rest is on you. We can't tell niggas don't guard you and let you score. You feel me, White?
Absolutely.
Everything is on you from this point. So the shout out to the family, shout out to the agency, the sports agency, Clutch Sports. It's nothing nobody else could do at this point. Everything else is really purely on Bronny.
Okay. And then we've kind of discussed this before, but I'm going to ask again, do you guys think that LeBron is going to wait till Bryce can get in the league too? Or
no, we can't do this 2 times.
I just was wondering.
Can't do this twice.
What you mean is getting the league?
He said he can't do this twice. So Mace is borderline hating, but he kept it real corporal around here, right?
Oh, what he said?
Well, why not? Why the hell he can't do it? The other son supposed to be better than Bronny.
Bryce is going to the league.
Damn right he is.
Oh, Bryce
damn
is going
straight
to the
he
league.
is.
What? Maybe I misunderstood what Cam was saying, or because if he's saying Bryce ain't gonna, he's going, bro.
Nah, he's saying we can't do it. He don't think he's good enough. He don't think he's
Bryce. Yeah, he don't know about Bryce.
Bryce gonna be better than Bronny.
Yeah, he don't know about Bryce then.
Bryce gonna be better than Bronny.
I like Bronny. I like Bronny. The boy can shoot like a motherfucker.
Man,
Hey,
Bronny
but
have you
can
but
seen
shoot,
have
Bronny
you
bro.
got
seen
the
Bronny can
size.
Bronny's?
shoot like a motherfucker, dog.
Have you seen
Bronny can
Bronny's?
shoot, bro.
Yeah, he can. He
Yeah,
can
of
shoot,
course.
bro.
I seen them
I
both.
think he
I
can
seen
shoot
them
like a
Bro,
both.
motherfucker.
man,
But
Bryce
but
got
but
back to the
Bronny,
basket game. He could jump. He
another
got
thing,
dog in
Bright
him.
size. His size. His size alone, he that much bigger than Bronny.
Yo,
You got him what, like about 4 inches?
Yeah,
He gonna be
he
taller
gon'
than Bronny. You know what I'm
I
saying? He gonna be
don't.
like 6'6" probably.
And he does know that there's like 4 sets of brothers in the NBA right now. Mace knows that, right? That there's already brothers in the
Especially the
NBA.
Holiday brothers. It's three of them in there. It's
The
three Holiday
Balls,
brothers in the NBA.
Holidays, the Balls, the Plumleys.
The
I don't
Plumleys,
know
yep.
about the
The
Morrises anymore
twins, the
because
Lopez, the Lopez,
man, come on, man, bro.
the Morrison brothers.
He better. I don't know what he's talking about.
But yeah, man, all them guys sound like some hater ass shit, just something to talk about. Especially being a black man, that shouldn't be your topic unless you praising it. Now, all your listeners and followers listening to you hate on this young black man, this young black family for being successful and doing what people been against us did for years. That's so crazy to me, bro. Like even if you're talking about them like that, that's crazy, man. Like we've been wishing for times like this. A black man can drag his son along in the same profession and get the same handout. How many jobs y'all go to have been handed down from father to son? How many companies? Come on, man.
Kid, it depends on the level. Because
Yeah.
one thing I'm gonna say, it's always an aspiration, but like, I done did a few things, and there have been some things I've worked in where I'm hearing niggas like, oh, if people don't think this, I'm all like, nah. They have a earned system. It don't matter what information you got, you have to go and do that shit, and your dad ain't gonna be there for it. There's certain I hear what you saying, right? The people who saying that, like to be a longshoreman. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I just be laughing. I'm all like, your kid's gonna have to earn that. Yeah, you might get lucky and get a call. There's some jobs. Have him come down here right now. Oh yeah, you might get that. But if you think you gonna say, give my son a job, oh no. Just like being an electrician, just like being a construction worker. Yeah, there's nepotism. Man, you got to have that skill set. They is not gonna let your son operate heavy equipment just because you said so. So that's what people got to understand. I think sometimes they get nepotism confused as if there's not another part where we still got to work. Nigga can't be on the team without going to practice.
Straight up. Like everybody say, this was Bronny's dream. This one only LeBron dream. This was Bronny's dream to play in the NBA. That's Savannah's son going to the NBA. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta leave that shit out of it.
LeBron wouldn't want to his son to look like a fool on the court. Come up, chop it up, bro. Hey, look, me, I'ma never say he didn't. Yeah, like for them to draft you, you gotta be pretty good. I mean, no matter how, analytics is analytics. My opinion is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? My view is my view. But there's certain professions. Yeah, it ain't like some of this other stuff. Like, how you could work at the chicken shack and just get your son hired. Nah. Yeah, if you get your son in the NFL as a coach, they got to actually know football. But
Oh yeah, but they've been schooled and
nepotism,
groomed.
but nepotism is nepotism.
Oh yeah, but
Right?
having my dad in the same office, I think I got a leg up further
But
than the next guy.
man, look, there's a different type of nepotism too, right? If your dad's name is Jones and you got an uncle named Cleveland, So it's the Jones and Cleveland Company. Well, if you show any type of potential, they gonna fast track you. And why wouldn't they? Right? One thing about if you own something, I don't care how long somebody been with you, you ain't gonna turn it onto that for you and yours. So hey man, look, if you gonna help somebody get in the NBA, man, your son, look, who needs it more? Who needs my assistance more than my son? Man. And I hear cats about the stats. The stats is the stats. I'm not.
Fuck the stat. That's
If we
one
no no
preseason game.
no. Here's my thing. We could talk about stats, but when we talk about the stats,
He
we gonna
could have
talk
not
about
even
other
got, let's
players.
say he didn't even get in the game at all. Let's just say he just sat the fucking bench. He didn't even get in the game at all. Like, bro, what are we talking about?
Well, for him to be that's the thing. They said on the court, so he got to get in the game. My thing is that as far as the
I'm just
stats
saying they
go,
gonna talk shit. He didn't get in the game either. Like,
well, then history wouldn't have been made. You didn't get in the game. What I'm trying to say is if we're going to talk about stats, we could talk about stats because then we could talk about what all the rookies are doing. Like, I don't know if I think the Houston Rockets played a game. What did Reed Prickett, ain't that his way? Not Prickett. The white boy from Kentucky. Reed Shepard. His name's Reed Shepard. What was his stats? What'd he do? I don't mind talking stats, but when we start conflating things, which is kind of what's going on here, right? Because it's all like, well, this moment happened. Yeah, but they lost, and yeah, we're turning this into something a little bit different. Like you say, we're moving the goalposts, bro. So both y'all gone.
control on. I'd like go catch a turtle, like what can he do about it, right? I go catch a squirrel, what can he do about it? But a dog, I had to go out and get the dog with him, right? And so
Right.
because he otherwise I would have just got a dog. Like if I lived in a part of the world where I could just go find some stray or get a puppy from someone on the corner, like I would have came home with a puppy
Right.
at a lot younger age. But
Yeah.
I lived in a pretty civilized, controlled society, so you can't just go find a dog anywhere.
No.
But anyway, so I grew up dreaming of having just any kind of dog. I got it in my head as a little boy that I wanted a Labrador, because I read an article about Labradors finding turtles for this researcher, and it'd bring her back, these box turtles, bring her back to the researcher, and the researcher would like tag them and release them and like track them with radio telemetry. And the dog would be the one who finds the turtle initially for the research project. And I
Right.
loved catching turtles. So I was like, oh, I want a lab. And that was like my dream. And then one day when I was like, I think like 12 or 13, something like that, I decided, you know what? I'm going to find out what my favorite dog is. Like I always had it in my head I wanted a lab, but I've never researched this before. I was big
Right.
on researching stuff. So I went to the library and I read every book I could find on all the different breeds to try and decide what my favorite breed was. And one of the books that I read, it was a series of books. They're short, or I shouldn't say short, but like medium length books about all different popular breeds: pit bulls, Labradors, German shepherds, Rottweilers, like everything you could think of that's common. They had a whole list of them, and each book was dedicated to that breed. Well, I decided I was going to read the whole series and decide what my favorite was. And I got to the pit bull, and I had a negative, that stereotypical, they're man eaters, they're
Yeah.
vicious,
The stigma.
they're stupid, they kill. So I had that in my head when I got the pit bull book, but I was like, I'll read it anyway. And I started reading it, and the author's like, oh, pit bulls love people and they're safe with kids. And I read like that and I stopped. I'm like, this is a load of crap. And I put the book back.
Right.
And I went through and read the rest of the series of books. And I kind of was narrowed down to a couple hunting breeds or something that I decided were my favorites, but I couldn't narrow it totally down. And the neighbor, I was in the suburbs of Chicago, and the neighbor got a pit bull, or at least what they called a pit bull. Nowadays, you never know what it is. People call everything a pit bull, but it looked like a pit bull anyway. So they got this dog that was a pit bull, and because I didn't have my own dog, I would go around and play with the neighbors' dogs. And this was my very next door neighbor. Like we shared a fence. So because it was the most like readily available dog to me, I started playing with it. Even though I had it in my head, oh, I hate this dog. It's going to be vicious. It's going to be mean. Like I was like, I still gave in to my inner love for animals to play with this dog that I, quote unquote, hated. Well, I fell in love with the dog over time. And it was to the point where the dog would listen to me. Like I had it trained to do all these things in their own backyard. Like I would just go knock on the door. You know how little kids go, can I play with Simmy or Susie or whatever? I would knock on their door. Can I go play with your dog? So I go in the back and play with their dog. And pretty soon I had this dog trained to do all kinds of things. And he just loved me. And I could tell, like, I don't know what people are talking about. Like this dog is, I could get it to do anything I want. Like he's really cool. So I kind of opened my mind at that moment. I was like, maybe pit bulls aren't so bad. So then I went back and read that book that I only read, the first few paragraphs of. And from that point on, I fell in love with pit bulls, decided that was my favorite breed. Still having never owned any dogs. It was just what I decided at that moment. So then I was set on, I was going to get a pit bull. And by this point, I was getting close to my mid-teens. I was like 14, 15. And I was set. I was going to get a pit bull. But my dad still wouldn't let me have a dog. So then I started trying to think of ways to like, okay, there's a little wooded lot by my house. I'm going to get a dog. I'm going to chain it up out there, give it a dog house, and like, just go play with it and then put it back so my dad doesn't know I have it. But when I went to the pound, they wouldn't let me adopt a dog. And I was like, crap. Right. And I didn't, I had to be able to ride my bike to the location. So it wasn't like I could get in the newspapers and buy some dog off the newspapers, because I had to be able to ride my bike there. Right.
Right. Exactly.
So I was stumped. once again I was stumped, and I watched that DMX video. Hey yo, I'm tripping, I'm falling, I can't get up. You know
Yeah,
that song.
yeah,
So you know that music video where he's a little kid and he goes and he steals that black pit bull out of the person's backyard, and he
right.
hides it up on the project roof and feeding it bologna and hot dogs. Anyway, I watched that video and I was like, oh, that's how I'm gonna do it. And I almost did it, but I couldn't bring myself to steal.
That's a good story, man.
I even had a dog lined up. There was a dog that I passed by on my way to school every day, and I would feed it like little treats and pet it and play with it because it had a chain but no fence. So I could just go walk in their backyard and play with their dog, kind of make sure no one's peeking at me through the window and play with their dog. So I was like in my head, okay, I'm going to steal this dog, but I just couldn't do it. I knew in my heart that was wrong. And so I never did it. I never went through with it. So I ended up never getting that dog that I wanted until I moved out of the house, which I moved out really early age. I moved out when I was 15, 15, excuse me. And I lived with my grandpa because my grandpa was a horse trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my dad, as you could kind of guess from the way I've told the story so far, we didn't get along very well. Like my dad's really stubborn. I'm really stubborn. But my dad is not an animal person at all. Well, my whole family, my parents, my brothers, none of my siblings, nobody's really into animals but me. And I'm like up to my neck obsessed with
you're
animals.
all in.
Like I was catching squirrels at age 10 and bottle raising them, and like training. I was training crows when I was like 7 or 8. No, 8 or 9. I had a pet crow that would just fly around the neighborhood. Like I was obsessed from day one. I had turtles that I could whistle, and
how did you catch the crow though? How did you catch the crow?
I don't know if it was injured or young. I think it was young because it had a pink mouth. So crows have a black mouth, but when they mature, it turns pink. And it was old enough that it looked like an adult, but it had a pink mouth and it couldn't fly. And I was just a little kid. I'm like 8 years old, so I don't really know why it couldn't fly. But my assumption now as an adult, with the knowledge I have, is it was probably just a baby that it was old enough it looked like an adult, but young enough it couldn't fly.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was obsessed with all kinds of animals, not just dogs, my whole growing up. So, and my dad being not an animal guy at all, we bumped heads all growing up. Finally, when I was 15, I got into some trouble in Chicago, the gang kind of activity stuff. I wasn't like into it, but I had friends that were, and it was worrying my parents really bad. And anyway, long story short, they sent me to live with my grandparents.
And you had to get up out of there. Basically.
Well, it was good. I think I would have gotten some pretty big trouble. Like I wasn't doing anything bad yet. I mean, you saw I didn't even steal a dog. Like
right.
I still had a good heart, but the people I was associated with, everyone that I got along with, they were in it pretty well, a lot deeper than I was, let's say. So anyway, they were worried I was going to end up gangbanging, and so they sent me to live in the country, and it saved me. I mean, I probably would have got in some trouble at some point.
No, that's a good decision, man. It is.
And it was just in time because I hadn't really done anything yet. Like I'd done some minor stuff. I guess I could have technically got in trouble for, but nothing like serious yet. But I was right on the edge, and they knew it. So they're like, okay, we're not going to wait. And they pushed me off. And so when I was with my grandpa, he was against pit bulls. They were like, he actually had a legitimate reason for it though, to be fair, because he had livestock and horses, right? And bulldogs, to be frank, are animal aggressive, right? And you do run the risk of them hurting his cattle dogs or hurting a horse or hurting a cow. So I mean, he had a legitimate concern, but I was convinced I could train them. I'll keep them out of trouble. If they're that aggressive, I'll just keep it on a chain. Like I was a responsible kid. I wasn't your typical kid. I was more responsible than most adults when it came to animals. So I was like, I won't be a problem, Grandpa, but he wouldn't let me have one. But one day, so I ended up getting a collie. Was my first dog, was a pup from one of his litters.
We got something in common.
Oh yeah?
I had a collie.
Yeah, that was my first dog. His name was
Sean. That I really can remember that I having for multiple years. it was a collie.
Awesome. Did you work him at all, or was he just a pet, or what do you do?
No, I was a kid. I was young. My
Oh,
dad
okay.
brought him home, and something like that.
Oh,
One of
that's
those
awesome.
things. I think I ain't asked him, but I think he drove him away somewhere when they
Oh
were
no.
trying to get rid of him. It's like, where did Chief go? I don't
That's
know.
too bad.
Maybe I should ask him.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
was young.
my first dog was a collie, and I trained to be a cow dog because that's what we did. We're on the ranch, so I trained him to work cattle, and he was a good dog for it being a first timer's dog. He was a really good dog. I definitely did some dumb stuff, and he could have been better, like no doubt. But being a first timer's dog, like I'd never owned any dog before this, he was actually really good, despite my mistakes. But then we moved. At this point, we're out in the middle of nowhere in Idaho. Like, so in the middle of nowhere, you could take a high power rifle and shoot at any direction, and that bullet's just going to skip across the sand. Like, there's nothing for it to hit. No
Right.
trees, no rocks, no houses, no car. It's just going to skip till it loses momentum. So anyway, we moved from there to Utah, and that was a little more like closer to city, closer to people. And a stray dog ended up on the place that looked like a pit bull. And I mean, obviously, who knows what it actually was, but she looked like a pit bull, and didn't have dog aggression at all. So probably wasn't, but who knows? So I immediately like latched onto her, and my grandpa, is like, what can he say? Like, the dog showed up. I didn't go out and get it. So
Right.
he would very reluctantly let me keep her. And that was my first kind of bulldog. Like I said, who knows what it really was.
Right,
And
right.
I trained her to hunt with my collie, because my collie, I tried to get him to hunt, but he wouldn't really use his nose, and he was really soft. Like anything that kind of stood up to him, he'd just stand back and bark at it. So but he was quick and athletic, and he could see really well. This pit bull looking dog, she had poor eyesight but a good nose, and wasn't that fast. So they would work together as a perfect team. She would track it down. Once it became in sight, the collie would run it down and like nip it on the butt and make it slow down, and then the bulldog would come up behind and just plow it over. So
Yeah, yeah.
between the two dogs, they were like the perfect team. And I had her for a while, and then we ended up moving, and my grandpa wouldn't let me bring her, so I gave her to a family, and then sorry, this was supposed to be a quick answer to a short question.
Oh no, we're just cooking. We're just cooking.
So then after that, I went on a mission. Do you know the Mormon or LDS faith? Are you familiar with that at all?
Yeah, out in Utah out there.
Yeah. So have you seen those guys with the little black badges and the white shirts and ties that ride around on bikes and knock on doors? Okay. So I did that for 2 years. So moving me out to my grandparents really changed my life, as you can imagine. So I got, as we say in the church, on the straight and narrow, and
Right.
I changed my life. I changed my outlook, and I became involved in church again. Like, I was always grown up in the church, but I
That's
had
right.
that wayward stage in my life where I obviously was stepping back quite a bit. Well, then on my own, my grandparents didn't actually really go to church much. They kind of went sometimes. So I kind of on my own went back to church and became faithful and active again.
Right.
And then when I turned 19, 19, I decided to go on a mission. So for 2 years, I served a mission in Iowa and Nebraska. And here's the funny part. So while I was gone, my parents got a puppy
Uh-oh.
for the first time. Like, so, right? So my whole life, I never had a puppy. And they absolutely, if they were going to get a puppy, it wasn't going to be a pit bull, right? So they get this puppy, and they send me a picture of it. And I'm on my mission, so like I'm nowhere near them. I'm out of state. And I look at this picture, I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
What kind of dog is that? And they're like, my dad made up some stupid name of some breed that doesn't exist. He was like American Terrier or something. Like, it's not even a breed, right? But he didn't want to say what it was. He's like, it's an American Terrier or something funny. And I'm like, American Terrier. Okay, Dad. That looks like a pit bull to me.
Yes.
So when I get off my mission, I end up coming back home to my parents rather than to my grandparents. And this
Right.
dog is like, I think like 6 months old at this point, and very obviously a pit bull looking dog. I asked them where they got it, and they just got it from a neighbor. So like, who knows what it really was? But
Right,
this
right, right.
thing acted like a bulldog. Like it
Right.
was on fire. It could see a dog way down the street, and it would be on its back legs, like just going nuts, wanting to
Yeah.
fight that other dog. And my mom's like, I don't know what to do with this dog. I can't even take it on a walk. If there's a dog anywhere near, it just goes crazy. She's really nice with people, but man, she's just crazy, wants to fight. And I'm like, let me see what I could do with her. So I take her and I train her to hunt. And I'm like, get the raccoon, get the raccoon, get the raccoon, leave the dog alone. Get the raccoon, get the raccoon, get the raccoon, leave the dog alone. And pretty soon she's like, oh, okay, no more dogs. And she flipped. Like she was crazy. She would kill puppies like anything. I remember when I first saw her, they came out to my mission to visit, and we went to part of my mission was on an Indian reservation.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you've ever been to an Indian reservation, but the dogs just run wild there. They're like half barrel, running around everywhere. So that you can imagine having a dog that hot on an Indian reservation is just begging for an accident. She's just
Right,
just
right.
wanting to get everything. Well,
Yeah.
we saw this one family had some puppies that was born under their porch, and I'm playing with the puppy, and she snatched the puppy out of my hands. I had to like save the thing. Like, so it didn't matter if it was big, small, young, old, she wanted to eat it. So anyway, and like I said, she looked like a bulldog. She was like 38 pounds, athletic build, bully head. She looked like a bulldog. And anyway, so whatever she was, that's what she was like. And I trained her, stop focusing on dogs, focus on hunting. And she switched and wouldn't bother dogs after that. Totally solid. You could literally have another dog pick a fight with her, and she would shut her mouth because she knew she couldn't fight, and she would wrestle with it, mouth shut, no teeth.
Right.
And you'd be like, oh, get that other dumb dog away. And she's like, nope, I was listening. See, my mouth was shut.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and then she could get on a coon and just go to town. But she knew, oh, dogs are off limits. Okay, I won't get the dog. So that was my second experience. But again, we don't know how she was bred. Like, who knows what she was. So then I got into the mink pretty soon after that. And I hunted. I didn't have any dogs for a few years. I would still go home and visit. I ended up coming back out west to Utah, but I would go back to visit. And every time I went to visit my family, I'd go take their dog hunting, the little family.
So fast forward, this is so you was 19. So this is what about?
I would have been 21.
Okay.
21 at that point.
Okay.
And I lived at home for a year, was it? 2 years maybe? I can't remember. A year or two I stayed at home. So at about 22, 23, I moved back to Utah.
Okay.
And by that point, like, the dog was solid. She wouldn't fight anything, but she loved to hunt. So I would go back and visit for like Christmas or during the summer or something. And I go take that dog hunting, and then I go back home, and she wouldn't see me for another year. But when I got into the mink, I just focused on the mink. I didn't have any dogs for a while. But my friend who was in it with me, he got a dog, and I saw how useful it was to have both the mink and the dogs working together. Right. And I was like, dude, I need to get a dog. But my focus was, I'm going to get whatever I think fits best for hunting. So I didn't go back to, even though I, still had a fondness for pit bulls, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get whatever works best. And of course, all these other dogs are bred for hunting. So I'm going to get one bred for hunting, not one, bred for bulldog activities. So I went and I worked with different breeds and mixed breeds through the years. And over time, I found that there was a specific job that I felt like, as my business grew, it went from a hobby to a business. I'm doing pest control as an actual income at that point, with dogs and mink working together to get rats. or raccoons. Obviously, the mink didn't do anything with the raccoons. That was just dogs. The dogs would be getting raccoons and things like that. Well, over those years, I'd been through many different breeds and mixed breeds of dogs. And I run into a situation where I realized it would be very beneficial for me to have a smaller dog that could go down pipes and under porches and in attics and stuff to get raccoons, but it needed to be enough dog to dispatch the raccoon on its own.
Right.
And a lot of people think, like Patterdale Terriers or Yog Terriers, oh yeah, man, they kill raccoons all the time. It's like, have you ever really hunted with one? Like, that's not really the case. A Patterdale Terrier or a Yog Terrier or any other terrier one-on-one with a coon is not a pretty picture. If you have a gritty enough dog to stick with it, he's going to be just beat up in the end of it.
Right.
Even if he does end the coon, if is still the big question. Even if he does end the coon, your dog's going to be laid up for a while. And I was running into these pest control situations where I couldn't help the dog. See, the traditional way of hunting with a terrier is not for the terrier to end it. The terrier needs to engage the animal in a burrow. You dig down to it and you dispatch the animal. The terrier just keeps it there and fights with it, right? It doesn't kill it. But I was running into these pest control situations where I needed the dog to end it. I couldn't. Like under a shed, what am I going to lift their shed up with a forklift and help the dog? You know what I mean? Or a pipe. I'm going to dig up the road down to where the pipe is and break the pipe open and help the dog. Like, they weren't situations where the dog could reasonably be helped. And so I was thinking, man, I've got a 60-pound dog that can handle a coon, and he'll crawl into the holes that he can fit in, which are limited, being 60 pounds. And he can end a coon. And I've got these little dogs, these little terriers that could get into the tight places and fight a coon, but man, they're just not realistically going to end it. And like I said, if they end it, it's not very pretty.
Right.
So I got thinking, man, if I got me a rough little like 35 pound, 32 pound, 28 pound pit bull, like the small end of the breed, I could probably have a dog that's enough dog to finish the coon, but he's small enough to fit in at least some of those spots, right? He's not going to be able to fit in the same tight places as a Patterdale, but he's going to fit in a lot tighter spaces than my 65-pound bull lurcher, right?
Right.
And so that's what got me thinking, man, that would be really cool. Let's see if that idea works. And I had some friends that already crossed pit bulls and Patterdales, and they run pit Patterdale crosses. And my thoughts were along the lines of, well, if you need the pit to get the job done, why even mess with the Patterdale? Why not just get a pure pit that's small enough for the job? And I'm like, maybe there's a reason for that, but why not try it? And, my whole life I'd wanted a real pit bull, but I'd never had one. I had these two unknown dogs that kind of looked, they looked just like a pit bull, but who knows what they were. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a true, real deal pit bull, just the right size for the job. And I'm going to see if it works. And so then I went on this. With me, I'm kind of obsessed, if you can't already tell, with like,
Right.
I want to do things the best possible way. Like I don't go halfway. So I researched and made connections, and little by little, worked into the dogman world enough that I could get what I felt was a legit, true blue pit bull, not just some pet, or show dog or weight pull dog or whatever.
Right.
But it had to be the right size and all this other stuff. So anyway, found one, and then that's kind of what got me into pit bulls again, I guess, really, for the second time, because I was in it as a kid. I shouldn't say I wasn't in it as a kid, because that's not true. I was mentally in it, right? I was in love with the idea. So now I'm able to actually do it and give them a legitimate job that other breeds really struggle or totally fail at performing. And then
so
what's cool?
You're saying that the pit bull is better for the job when it comes to those coons and different size animals?
In the right situation, yes. So
Okay.
obviously, if the hole's too small, then it's still going to be a Patterdale, but they're not going to be able to end it on their own under vast majority of circumstances. You're still going to need to get in there and help the dog.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
what's interesting, and this was a shocker to me, what I didn't really expect is for my pit bull to be very good at ratting. Like, I didn't think he would be bad at it. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I just didn't think she would be anything special. I thought she'd
Right.
just be like any other run-of-the-mill dog. But right now, without a doubt, without any comparison, the best ratting dog I own is that first bulldog I got, Bindi.
Okay.
And it's a combination of her athletic ability and her brain. She's smart enough to figure it out, because ratting, it looks mindless to someone who's never done it before. All the rats just run and the dogs catch them. But no, actually, there's a lot of calculation that comes down to it, to the dog's point of view of knowing where to stand, guessing where the rat's going to come out and how the rat's going to come out and where that rat's going to run to when it does come out. All of those things. The smarter the dog, you could be let's say a 5 in speed, but if you're a 10 in intelligence, you're probably going to catch more rats than a dog who's, 8 or 9 or 10 in speed, just because you're guessing where the rat's going to be due to previous experience, and you're there already. You don't have to run. You're ready to catch it.
You know how they move. You know what type of
Yep.
stuff those rats pull.
Yeah, and dogs like terriers and sight hounds, they're just not very smart. And so they'll do the same dumb thing over and over and over again and not really learn from their mistakes. They just keep trying the same dumb thing over and over again. And my best ratting dog before her was a quarter pit bull. He was 3/8 whippet, 3/8 greyhound, actually staghound, if you know what that is. And then the other quarter was pit bull. And I always wondered, well, where did he get his brains from? Because most sight hounds aren't very smart. And for some reason, I was like, well, he's only a quarter bull, so who knows how much that influenced it. But after watching my pure bulldog Bindi do the job, I'm like, I'm convinced he got his brains from the pit bull, because
Who's this
work.
right here? Who are these guys?
Okay, so the little dog I'm holding is a Patterdale named Gypsy. The
Okay.
black dog is a Patterdale Whippet named Leia. And then the buckskin colored dog is Bindi. She's on the top, grand champion Gardner's Spike, and the bottom line bred, of course, not out of him. Of course, he's old dog from way back. But the line on the top side is Gardner's Spike. And then on the bottom is loosely line bred Red Rock.
Okay.
But yeah, she's purebred bulldog, and she's younger in that picture. She's probably a little over a year old, I'm guessing, and now she's 2.5.
Okay. Good looking dogs. Real good looking dogs. So the Patterdales, yeah. The APBTs. Okay. So what are some of the things that you're looking for the pit bull to do when they're on those hunts, or not to do?
So not to do, engage other dogs. I don't want them any kind of, even just jealousy stuff. So you would think, a pit bull would have the worst problem out of all of them, but I've actually had a harder time with terriers than with the bulldogs so far. And I'm up to 6 different individuals that I worked with. So it's not like my one dog and the one experience I've had. I've worked with the Hammonds, Heinzel Cross, obviously the one I've described. One was what was she bred like? I'd have to pull it up. Anyway, so I've worked with several different bloodlines and several different individuals to get to the ones that I've got right now. And they all seem to surprisingly be the easiest to train when it comes to, hey, leave that alone. They have the drive like a terrier. Like terriers are like pit bulls. They just want to get stuff. But the difference is, in the dogs that I've had, at least, which, I mean, 6 dogs isn't that many, right? So you've got the law of large numbers to deal with. But with the dogs that I've worked with, they have such a desire to please that you could teach them pretty easily. Hey, I don't like you doing that. Stop doing that. And they're like, okay, I won't do that. Whereas a terrier, you like have to tell them over and over and over. And pretty soon telling isn't enough. If you catch my drift, you got to make them stop doing whatever it is they're doing. Because terriers just don't care. They have a selfish mindset. And the same, or similar, I should say, high drive as a pit bull. But the pit bulls I've worked with, at least, they have enough desire to please that they're like, oh, you don't want me to do that anymore? Okay. But you also have to remember, like, I'm giving my dogs a large amount of outlet. It's not like a pet that you're sitting at home and you're like, hey, don't bother the cat. Hey, don't bother the cat. And you don't let them do anything. In my experience, any high drive dog, whether it's a Malinois, a terrier, a pit bull, whatever the breed is, the key to them wanting to do what you want is they need to have an outlet. You need to have twice as many yeses as they have no's. Right. So if you're always telling the dog, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. Pretty soon they're just gonna be like, dude, screw you. I'm gonna do it anyway. I've got to get my teeth into something. Right? Those high drive dogs, that's just how they are. You just tell them no, 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 no. Eventually they're just gonna be like, screw freaking you. I'm gonna do it anyway. But with me, I say no, don't get the mink. Here's a rat. Here's a rat. Here's a rat. Here's a raccoon. Here's a rat. Here's a squirrel. Here's a raccoon. No, don't get the sheep. Here's another rat. You know, here's so they have a huge list of things that they're allowed to do, and they get to do them on a regular basis. So when you tell them no, you're not allowed to kill the mink. No, you're not allowed to fight with the other dog. They're a lot more willing to listen because they know there's a lot of other things they're allowed to do and encouraged to do and praised for doing. So they're not, they don't feel bottled up. Like if you were to take a pit bull and put it in a house, you know, a real bulldog, put it in a house and make it live with a chihuahua and say, hey, you can't kill anything. I mean, chances are he's going to get frustrated one day and you're not going to have a chihuahua, right? Or a Labrador or whatever your other dog is. But I feel like if you take a bulldog and you say, hey, kill that coon, kill that coon, kill that rat, kill that rat, kill that rat, kill that coon. Yes, good dog, good dog, good dog. Hey, no, you do not fight with this other dog. They're a lot more willing to listen because they've got a lot of outlets. And then the other thing with any kind of high drive dog is you don't just trust them. You don't just be like, oh, my dog's never had a problem. I'm just going to leave it in the backyard unsupervised for 12 hours a day and just trust that he's not going to do it because he's never done it before. That's just foolish. Any high drive animal, you leave them unsupervised long enough, something's going to eventually go wrong. And so you've got to be wise with it and not just like blindly trust any animal with high drive. It doesn't have to be a pit bull. Like I said, any animal with high drive, you always kind of got to keep a leery eye on him and just assume, hey, he's never done a wrong thing in his life, but today might be that day. So I'm going to be aware and alert and observant and ready. I mean, I keep a stick on my side at all times. Unless I'm sleeping or at church, I've got a stick on my side just in case. Though I've never had to use it on any of my dogs. I tell them, hey, you quit that and that's enough. But one day it might not be enough. So I need to be prepared and be wise.
Let's talk about. I think we alluded to like when the APBT is going after the coons. The places that they want to go. Some of the traits that you look for and the places that you would want your APBTs to go, and the reason why they would go to those areas versus some other areas.
So the bigger the dog, the easier it's going to be to dispatch a raccoon. That's just physics, right? You have a 65-pound dog killing a 15-pound raccoon. It's going to be easier.
Right.
So obviously you get to a point where the dog's too big, but just to keep things simple, 60, 70, 80-pound dog is going to have an easier time handling a 15-pound coon than a 40, 30, 20-pound dog. Right. That's just obvious. But the problem comes in where The raccoons aren't always going to be in a spot where that big dog can get to them. Raccoons love to hide in under porches, in attics, down in pipes, in burrows, animal burrows like a beaver burrow, for example. So they'll get into tight places where the luxury of using, or even brush, it doesn't even have to be a hole, just a big 65, 70-pound dog following a raccoon through the little tunnels that they make in thick reeds and thick brush. It's just more difficult for a dog that size to maneuver through these tunnels made by 15-pound animal, right? Those tunnels are made for a 15 to 20-pound animal, not a 60, 70, 80-pound animal. So when you get a little bulldog that's in that 30-pound-ish range, they're a lot closer to the size of the raccoon, which means they can fit into a lot of the same places.
Okay.
Now, obviously, the smaller the dog, the more places it can follow that raccoon. You get down to a 15-pound dog, he's probably going to follow that raccoon in most places he's ever going to go, assuming that 15-pound dog is built right, built and slim and flexible and able to squeeze into places like a good Patterdale would be built. He has that right conformation, not big shoulders or anything, nice little slender build. Then that 15-pound dog can follow that raccoon almost anywhere because they're the same size. But the problem is that 15-pound dog is going to have a heck of a time dispatching that raccoon, because people don't really realize raccoons are like badgers with hands. Like, they are tough little animals and extremely vicious. They would rather fight than run sometimes. There's many times I've seen a raccoon, he has every chance in the world to escape. He's like, dude, I ain't even going to try and escape. I could beat this dog. Like, they're tough. They're tough. I've even seen them come out of the woods. They're not even being messed with and jump on a dog just because the dog's on a different raccoon. And they're like, I want to join that fight. And they'll come out of the woods and jump on your dog. Now, that's rare, but it happens. And it'll be people too, not just dogs. So they're tough, aggressive suckers. So the bigger the dog, the more ability it has to overpower and dispatch that raccoon in a timely fashion. But the smaller the dog, the more places it can fit. So, I mean, really, with a bulldog, you've got the smaller end of the breed is right in that kind of sweet spot where they're big enough to really put the hurt on a coon and end it in a reasonable amount of time. But they're also big enough that that they have the upper hand. I would prefer, honestly, if I could get just an exceptional individual, work with smaller dogs. But frankly, you're running out of options at that point, because just finding a bulldog under 30 pounds is hard enough. Then to find one that's that small and good, it just gets harder and harder.
That's right.
Plus, I love raising them from puppies. I feel like there's a huge advantage raising any dog. It doesn't have to be a bulldog. Any dog from a puppy, you have a huge advantage over, because you've given that dog every experience it's ever experienced, and you can build up its confidence and give it lots of growing experiences, learning experiences all growing up, and build a relationship with that dog that's much deeper than if you'd have got it later in life. So I prefer to get a puppy. And that's the other downside is, man, you could get a puppy from a 32-pound sire and a 29-pound dam and still end up with a 45-pound dog. So you just never know. With bulldogs, their size is not consistent at all.
And explain the importance of why you would want the APBT or whatever animal you're using to dispatch the animal quickly. But
for one, it saves the dog injuries, right? The longer it takes, the more banged up the dog's going to get. But I mean, just to be fair to the raccoon, you want that poor creature put down as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
That's right.
It's not just for your own personal interests. I want my dog to be in good shape. Yeah, you also don't want the poor raccoon to suffer. I mean, it's not the raccoon's fault he's causing problems. That's just his nature. So there's no reason to cause him unnecessary pain and suffering. Let's just get it done as quick and as humane as possible. And then the logical reason behind it, that's like the emotional reason, right? There's no real logic behind that. It's just motion. I feel bad for the animal. But the logical reason is, if you don't, your dog's not going to be good for a few days. He's got to have to rest for days or weeks to overcome, what happened in the
Yeah,
process
exactly.
of dispatching that raccoon.
Yes, yes. Let's get on these minks. Let's get on these minks. Let's talk about these minks and just tell us about them. Tell us about them.
So mink, what got me into mink to begin with was I was told that mink were impossible to tame, impossible to train, the most vicious, horrible creatures alive. And as a teenage boy that had experience training birds of prey for falconry, training cattle, horses, and cow dogs with my grandpa, and then just as a little kid raising squirrels and any other wild animal I could get my hands on, pet raccoons, all kinds of stuff, I felt like, part of it was my stubborn nature, part of it was being a teenager, and part of it was, frankly, my previous experiences. I felt like I could do it, right? People said it was impossible. It made me want to try. You can't do it. It's impossible. Well, that makes me want to try even more. So mink are bred for their fur. And so they've got farms of them where they're just row after row of cages full of these little animals, and they breed them for their fur. And we moved next to a mink farm. That's what got me asking, what is a mink? And that's what led to the answer. They're the most vicious, horrible thing alive. You don't want to touch them. And I'd ask, well, what if you raised one from a bottle? Would it be nice then? No, they're mean as babies. They'll literally kill each other in the nest before they're old enough to walk. They're killing their own siblings and eating them. Like, they're just vicious animals. And I'm like, huh. And I kept thinking, well, what if you did this? What if you do that? And always the answer was no, it's impossible. I've tried it. I talked to people who were farmers for generations. It wasn't like they were new to it. They were born into mink farming, and they're swearing up and down, dude, it's impossible. I've tried it as a kid. I tried it as an adult. You can't tame them. So this fueled my desire to try it. And I found a mink that had escaped from a farm and was running around. I caught it. I tamed it. It frankly wasn't that big of a deal. And I'm like, you guys are silly. Like, I got this one tame. It's my first try. And they're like, one of the guys saw the mink. It was a gray colored mink. He's like, well, if you were going to have success, that's the color you would have success with. The gray ones are easier. I'm like, okay, well, what's the hard colored ones? And they're like, black ones. So then I, of course, eventually found a black one, tamed it. And long story short, being that I was a falconer, I trained birds of prey for hunting. I naturally had the kind of tendency to think of what could I do with this animal hunting wise. And knowing it was such an aggressive little creature, because I mean, they're right. They are stubborn, aggressive little suckers. You just have to know how to handle them right to make them manageable. But I thought, with that feisty nature, I wonder what I could hunt with one. So I started messing with. I did some research. I found out they were semi-aquatic, that they dived underwater and caught fish. And so the first thing I thought of was, man, that would be cool to go fishing with one. So I started experimenting with the idea of fishing with one. And while out fishing one day, I went to a little city park where they had, little to my knowledge, they had a rat infestation because people were feeding the ducks lots of bread, and then the rats would eat the bread and then burrow into the banks of the stream. And so they had a big old rat infestation, but I didn't know that. I was there to try and catch fish. But my mink kept going down these holes and chasing out the rats. And I was like, you know what? I'm trying to get my mink to focus on the fish, and all it wants to do is catch rats. And this rat catching is actually kind of fun. So I kind of switched from my original goal, which was to learn how to fish with a trained mink. It switched to, man, this is kind of fun chasing rodents with them. So I started hunting rats and squirrels and muskrats. Well, that then led to people asking me for help. Hey, I've got a rat in my wall. I've got a rat under my shed. I've got a rat, doing this or that. Can you help me catch it? And of course, I do it for fun, so I'm more than willing to come help. Well, pretty soon, people start paying me for it. So then I start charging. And little by little, it goes from a hobby into a business. And then eventually, like I said, I started seeing the advantage of using dogs alongside the mink. So I then acquired dogs for the purpose of working with my mink, a dog to begin with, and then eventually started getting multiples. I just realized, when rats are coming out 5 or 6 at a time, one dog, it doesn't cut it. So yeah, and it just kind of went from there, became a full-on business. And as far as how the videos started, I didn't when I started in YouTube was just like Facebook, in that it was just like something you would share with others. It wasn't like, now people think of it as like a business, like, oh, you could become rich being a YouTuber. Back when I started it, there was no way to make money on YouTube. It was just, hey, let me share what I'm doing. Just like Facebook. Here's my picture of me doing this.
It was the real passion for it,
Yeah. So the reason I was sharing those videos was, as far as I knew, I was the only guy doing it. As far as I know, no one had ever trained a mink for hunting or fishing or anything useful. I did eventually find people who had tamed them and kept them as pets. So it wasn't like I was the first guy to have one as a pet. But as far as I knew, I was the first one to do something useful with them. So I wanted to document what I was doing. And so I was posting these videos basically like hey, this is how I've learned to train this mink. And this is how this is the success I'm having with that mink. And it was basically just kind of a sharing what I've learned kind of deal. And then eventually someone stopped me and was like, hey, dude, you've got 100,000 views on this video. You could be making some money. And I'm like, making money? How do you make money from a video? And he's like, well, let me show you. And he showed me how this was like 2012. He showed me how to, because I started in 2008 with the videos. 2012, he showed me how to monetize, if I remember right. It was 2012. Showed me how to monetize. And then little by little, I started making money with it. And then I started doing pest control. So I was making pest control money on one side, YouTube money on the other. And then eventually it just got to the point where I was like, yeah, there's no point in me having another job. I need to just focus on this. So.
Right. Now that was huge. Power play. So
it was luck. I don't know if luck's the right word, but it was nothing I did. Like, I didn't have any goal or plan to become a pest control guy or to make any money on YouTube. It just kind of happened. And as it happened, I kind of took advantage of it more and more and started making effort to make it happen more,
It sounds like it was genuine, just that's what you love to do. And you just did it and it just paid off. You weren't really thinking about it. That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's fortunate.
Good deal. Let's talk about safekeeping, housing and handling these animals.
The mink specifically, you mean?
Let's say somebody was looking to get one. What would they need?
So first thing I would say is read my book. I wrote a 252-page book on the subject of training, housing, feeding, all that. So that would be my first recommendation, is just read the book. But to give you guys the clip,
I'm gonna drop that in the description too, so you guys can go check it out.
But to give you guys the cliff notes, mink farms, they say all a mink needs is water to drink. But in my opinion, they're a lot better off if they have water to swim in, especially when it's hot out. So I like an enclosure to have lots of room for one. So even though they're a small creature, even just the size of a dog kennel is not very roomy for them. I have great big kennels, if you want to call them. They're 32 foot by 5 foot wide by 10 feet at the tallest point, 6 feet at the shortest point, I think. So they're great big enclosures. They've got a swimming pool to swim in. They've got branches to climb on, tunnels to run through. You don't have to go that crazy, but that's in my book. I actually show like a poor man's version of that, where you basically attach smaller cages with a pipe so they can run back and forth between the cages. There are inexpensive ways to basically get to the same result, where the mink has more room. And I show that in my book, and some of my videos as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
really the end story is the more area they have to move in, the better. And the more exercise you can give them, the better, because they're like a bolio dog, man. They're just like they
Yeah.
just want to go all the time. And then they'll crash and sleep, and then they wake up and they're just like frantic, wanting to do stuff.
All over again. Yeah.
So the more you can exercise them or give them a big enrichment in their enclosures, the better.
Oh man. So handling them. How would you go about that? Are they gonna run away too? Like, how do you do they know you? Like, what's going on? Do I have to keep them locked up all the time, or can I let them hang out and chill, or what?
Yeah, chill isn't really in the mink's vocabulary. They
Right.
are just wired. They're bolio dogs. They want to run, they want to dig, they want to climb. They're just all over the place. And like I said, when they crash, they're gone, and they'll go to sleep for a minute, and then they get up and go again. So the problem is with mink, they're not a social creature like a dog. So
Okay.
they don't want to hang out with you unless you give them a reason to. So I create a bond and a relationship with mine, and they understand. Even the ones I can't handle, they'll bite me if I touch them. They understand I'm there as their hunting buddy. But the only reason they understand that is because we've done it so much that
Right.
they're smart enough to realize, hey, I have no instinct to be his buddy, but my brain tells me I need to stick around him because he helps me find muskrats and he feeds me when I don't catch anything. So I need to stay around him to some degree.
Right.
But they
Yeah.
still have that independent streak. So if you kind of turn your back for a moment too long, they might forget that and go off on their own and end up a half mile downstream. You have no idea where they're at. So you got to
Right.
keep a very close eye on them when you're out, and you teach them to come back using food reward. So because
Right.
they're not a social animal like a dog, you can't just call them over and pat them on the head. Heck, they probably don't want you to touch them to begin with. So patting them on
Right.
the head's not a benefit to them. They
Right.
just want to get out and catch something. They want to catch a rat, catch a fish, crayfish, something. And so, and if they realize you're there to help them with that, they'll stick around you closer. But that's just because you're there and they know you're going to help them catch something easier. So, so I teach them to come back for food. Because I'm using a food reward, I have to keep them at a specific weight so that they are hungry. So unlike dogs and people, I guess people would be a better example. You know, a guy could be 100 pounds overweight, but if he hasn't eaten for 24 hours, he thinks he's starving to death, right? Or a guy could be like slim, trim, like 2 pounds of body fat. He hasn't eaten for 24 hours. He also thinks he's starving to death, right? Our hunger isn't correlated with the amount of body fat we're carrying. Mink and birds of prey and a few other animals, their bodies specifically tell them, hey, you're running low on fat reserves. You need to eat now. So it's not necessarily how long it's been without food. They might have only eaten 6 hours ago. But if their body fat's low, their body's saying, dude, get up, go catch something. You need to eat now.
Right.
But if their body's got a lot of excess fat, they could go a couple days without eating and their body's still like, nah, if it's convenient, go get something to eat.
Right.
But you don't need to try very hard because we're good for a while. You got a lot of fat on you. So because of that, same with birds of prey, you need to keep them at this optimal level. If they're too low, number one, it's not healthy. They're not going to be as strong. They're not as healthy. But also, they'll be a little too frantic. They'll just be obsessed with food. Instead of going out to hunt, they're like climbing your leg, saying, "Feed me, dude, feed me. Come on, feed me." Like they're too urgent with that desire to eat. If they're too fat, then it's the other way around. You call them and they'll look back at you. And it's like, dude, I'm having more fun playing in this puddle. Sorry, but I'm going to pass. And they'll just like ignore you.
Yeah.
So you want to have them at that ideal level where they're just hungry enough that they'll come when you call, but they're not so urgent that they're frantic. They're willing to go, 4 or 5 hours without eating and they'll be okay. It's not
Still
that big
focused.
a deal.
Yeah.
Still focused, still hunting,
Right.
So the thing that adds kind of a monkey wrench into that whole mix is each mink has a different food drive. Some mink can be pretty chubby and still very, oh, I want to eat. I'm going to eat every chance I get. Another mink
Right.
can be really quite skinny, and you're like, dude, you shouldn't be this skinny. And they're still like, I'm okay. So there's a personality factor to it as well as their body weight. A mink
Right.
that's frantic to eat at one weight, a different mink might be pretty chill at the same weight. So you have to personalize it to the mink and know what you're working with. And that's how I
Gotcha.
get them back. I give them a little whistle, and they know that whistle means food, and they come back. Some of my mink, I get tame enough that I can handle them with my hands, but most of them I don't, because it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to get them that tame and trustworthy. They're a vicious little animal. They like to bite. So I found it a lot easier just to teach them to go to like a little live trap or a little pet carrier. Then I don't have to handle them at all. I just open the door, give them a whistle. They go run in there, eat their little snack. I shut the door behind them, or if it's a live trap, it shuts itself. And then we go to the next area. And then when I go to put them back, I open the door. They go run in their cage because I have a little chunk of meat sitting in there waiting, and they know it. They're like, oh, if I go back in my cage, I'll get some food. So they run in their food in the cage, eat their food, shut the door. And so I just teach them to do everything I need without handling them the vast majority of the time.
Right.
However, I do get some satisfaction and joy out of having a mink that I can handle, and it frankly is more convenient. So about once a year, before it's old enough to really know who its mom is, right? So that it bonds to me and thinks I'm its mom, and I'll bottle raise it,
Right.
put ridiculous amount of time into it. Just because you bottle raised it doesn't mean he'll stay nice. He'll get mean within a few weeks if you don't continue constantly handling and playing with and working with and building a bond with that animal. He'll be mean within a few weeks. So you keep building it up, and then when they get to a certain age, that bond is cemented. I see it seems to be like 3 or 4 months old. That bond is cemented, and then you can back off a little bit and maybe not play with him every single day, because
Right.
he remembers, hey, we have that bond built from back when I was young. I'm good to go. But you can't really build that bond later in life. You can tame a mink later in life. That takes a lot of effort and patience, but they're never really going to be that trustworthy. You always have to kind of walk on eggshells. Oh, I don't want to make him mad. He'll bite me. I don't want to scare him. He'll bite me. I don't want to,
So are
do the
they
wrong thing.
just like biting you when you try to touch them, or are they just running up to your knee and just biting your ankle or something?
Oh, both. So it depends on the
Oh,
mink.
both?
Some won't go out of their way to bite you, and they'll go
Yeah.
through phases. I have a mink actually I was working with yesterday that I got down and was laying on the ground filming him, and he
Yeah.
come out and I was like, oh, but he didn't bite me. And I was like, huh, I remember back when you used to tag people for that.
Yeah.
but he for whatever reason grew out of it. When he was younger, if he got the chance, he'd nail you. Now you got to give him a reason for
It
him to
just
nail you.
nail you, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could be minding your own business and he'll come up and bite you. Most mink will. They just like to bite. They're vicious little
Yeah.
suckers.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And all my
So
dogs know that. So all my
what is
dogs know that, and they know that they are not allowed to retaliate.
right?
So you'll watch my videos. When a mink pops out, the dogs all step back. Some will even leave
Yeah.
the area. It's like, dude, no,
So
pay attention.
the mink will try to take a chunk out the dog.
Oh yeah, every chance they'll get. Most of them. Some of them won't. There's a few that are nice and they'll just ignore the dogs. But most of them will try
Do
and
they
grab
just
a
think
dog.
they're that badass or something?
Yeah, they think they're a lot tougher than they are. I mean that any
That's
one of
like,
my dogs that grab one in its mouth and shake it to death. Like I don't have a dog. I don't own a dog that would just kill a mink. But
yeah,
they
exactly.
know they're not allowed to. So when that mink comes out of the hole, get out of the way because he's gonna bite me and I can't defend myself. So I better just avoid it.
Right. What is feeding looking like? What are you actually putting in there? I heard you say a chunk of meat, but what are they eating and how much are they eating?
So I feed them whatever they're catching. So
Okay,
mostly rats and muskrats. And sometimes
got
I'll
you.
add some other stuff like chicken maybe, or as basically a filler, right? Because I
Okay,
I might not have enough rats or muskrats, so I'll throw in some other kind of animal as a filler, like chicken, for example.
got you.
I don't typically use large animals for the mink feed, so I don't use beef or lamb or anything like that. It's usually small stuff. So whatever they would catch, rabbits, squirrels, rats, muskrats, and then some other small animal that I could buy from the store, like a chicken. If I need the filler. Some years I don't need it. I've caught enough that I could feed them off of natural wild game. Some years I need a lot of filler because maybe we didn't catch as much, or I have a few more mink that year, so I need more food. All of my dogs eat raw as well, but they eat bigger stuff usually. So they're eating like geese and beavers and beef, and just bigger animals usually. They eat a lot of beaver meat, and they'll eat some chicken too. So there is some overlap. But occasionally I will end up feeding some smaller stuff to the dogs, but usually that ends up going to the mink. And the reason being is I grind the mink food, so it's not like chunks of muskrat or rabbit. It's ground up like hamburger with the bone and the guts and the fur and everything in it. So it's like a crunchy hamburger is kind of a gross way to think of it. But it's got the organ meat. It doesn't have stomach content, so it's not like poop and half digested plants and junk like that. No, I pull out the stomach and intestines, but the whole rest of the animal, feet, fur, feathers, internal organs, bones, all of that's mixed in, and they eat that. The dogs, I just cut it into chunks. So that's why they're eating bigger animals. Grinding a beaver is going to kill your grinder.
Right.
I've broken many grinders. So I stick to like chicken and under for mink, and then chicken and rabbits and up for dogs, with occasional exceptions to that.
Right. What are some of the traits you're looking for when raising these animals? Like, what are some of the ones that you'll say, you know what, I'm not going to breed this one, I'm going to cull this one out of my program? And what are some of the traits you're looking for that'll say, yeah, that one right there, he's going to be a part of the program in the future?
So I'm very picky on the mink I keep. Kind of the way I look at it, if I can find one individual in a litter that's worth keeping for the next generation, that was a successful breeding.
Oh, out of a litter.
Yeah, if I can find one individual that I want to keep for breeding purposes, and I might find a couple that I would keep around for working purposes, but in my eyes, there's three levels. There's, I don't want anything to do with you. There's, I'll keep you around and use you for jobs and things, and then there's, I'll breed you. And if I get one out of a litter that's breeding worthy, that's a successful litter. And there's occasions where like 3 or 4 will come out that way, but that's, I don't know, 3 or 4 is an exaggeration. 2 or 3, let's say. I don't know that I've ever had 3 or 4 come out of the same litter, but 2 or 3 might come out of the same litter, and I'm like, whoa, that was an awesome litter. Let's repeat that,
Right. Okay, so you repeat that one. Okay, I got you.
So what I'm looking for, number one, is what I call grit in